Get that for below list, maybe even $350. So you can get the house at a big discount as opposed to what it might have cost you last year. And yes, rates are a little bit higher, but at thehomeloanexpert.com, we will refinance your loan with no fees when rates come down. So again, you marry the house, you fall in love with the house, but you date the rate, knowing that you're probably going to refi it and get that rate down to keep that payment nice and low. These are the reasons why you need to be working with the expert. If you're even considering buying a home, don't wait. Don't let those higher rates scare you. Work with the experts. Got questions? Ready to get pre-approved? Apply online today at thehomeloanexpert.com.
Now, back to the Ryan Kelly Morning After.
KPNT FM HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis.
Doug, Adam is on the line. I think you're sideways with him, but I can't.
Crying out loud.
We are not sideways anymore, Dougie. But real quick, Charlie, there is a groundswell of support for you on the Facebook page. People are loving this little threesome you guys got going on. With Jim out of there, Charlie in. It's a great setup. It's a good feng shui. People are loving it.
So you want me to whack the cat?
I didn't say that.
Well, I appreciate that, but I'm fine as just the fill-in guy. Cat's my guy.
Shush. I wrote.
Oh, shush you.
Doug, he shushed you.
Doug,
yes.
I wrote a rap song for you because I love you so much. Here we go. You ready?
Yeah.
Andy, he's a real cool dude, walking down the street and acting a fool. Oh, always doing sports and radio in his khaki shorts. And you are so special to me, living it up down South Miami. And gee, he's got the grandpa swag. Hey, Gramps, come on, sit on my face.
Put him down! Put him down! You didn't even finish. He has H&N, right?
Yeah, I know.
Adam has been suspended for that particular line in his song.
Did you think there was any chance that a rap dedicated to you was going to go well?
I thought it might. It wasn't bad there at the beginning. It kind of got sour towards the end. Adam's been suspended, gentlemen, 4 days' time, and his name's been...
I see it right there.
Logule.
I like when people come in with material, though.
Don from Delwood's on the line.
Hello, Don.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Oh, we're fine. You?
Hey, Doug, are you the type of guy that likes to, slap his butt cheeks and...
Put him down! Put him down!
That's so stupid. He was on hold for at least half an hour to say that. Don from Delwood.
Than that.
Here's the worst part, though. Sometimes I want to know where they're going with it. I want to hear the ending of it.
It almost always goes bad when they start out with, Doug. I know that something awful is about to happen.
If Doug's the first word and flap is in the second or third word.
In this case, a little suspension has been rained down on the Delwood region. Don from Delwood has been suspended a period of 4 days' time for an audio violation. His name has been entered into the suspension logule.
I think these phone lines may be poison. I might agree with you on that.
The phone lines are rising.
Hey, this is Tim McKernan of TMA, and I am thrilled to have new clients on board Longo Biggs Injury Law. CD Longo and Doug Biggs. And Doug, the thing I want our audience to know is that you guys are local and you guys are different. Tell our audience how you're different.
Yeah, Tim, both CD and I are from St. Louis area, born and raised in the South City area or the South County area, and we are also thrilled to be part of the TMA family now. If anyone signs up with us for an injury case, their case is treated like they are family. We get to know you, we get to know the ins and outs of your case, and make sure we represent you like you are part of our family. We're not like one of the large firms in the area who might take your case and just treat you like another number or another file. You'll get our personal attention. It's either CD and I who will handle your case directly. And if you are injured in an accident, please remember us. You can visit us at longobiggs.com, and that's Biggs with 2 G's.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
You're hearing TMA all day on KPNT HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis. Featuring the Ryan Kelly Morning After, live from 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. Then a full show replay from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Followed by the best of TMA from 1 p.m. to 7 p.m. And another same-day replay starting at 10 p.m. Find the full schedule at TMASTL.com. Brought to you by Ryan Kelly at thehomeloanexpert.com. The most efficient mortgage process you'll ever experience. Rise and shine, St. Louis. It's the Ryan Kelly Morning After on KPNT FM HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis. At the Morning After STL on YouTube and on TMASTL.com with Tim McKernan, Doug Vaughn, Iggy Strode, the Plowboy, and Action Jackson.
7:07 in St. Louis. You are listening to the Ryan Kelly Morning After from the Michelob Ultra Studios. Welcome to the Munganess St. Louis Acura Alton Toyota 7 o'clock hour. Timothy Michael McKernan. Action Jackson is on my right if you're watching on YouTube. He is filling in for the vacationing Douglas Elvin Vaughn. On my left, if you're watching on YouTube, is Ken Iggy Strode. Directly across from me is the Plowhawk, and in the Horton Watkins Studios, it is KG in O-Town. KG in O-Town, how is the microphone working? How are you doing? What is the word?
All is well.
Oh, there
Got
it
my
is.
teacher showing me some new things this morning. Always learning from Jackson, so all is great today.
All right, there it is. KG in O-Town in, and will be in while Doug is vacationing in the Hamptons. And then, Jackson, you've got your Gape party this Thursday and Friday, right?
Yeah, I will be. I'll be in the great state of Tennessee.
The smell in
Thursday and Friday.
The smell
Why do you
of
think the smell
manhole.
is going
I don't know.
The smell of manhole.
It's going to smell like a good time is what it's going to smell like.
Is it 13 guys? Have we?
I think it's 12.
Okay.
The number has been moving all over.
I knew a
Sure, it
couple
does. Well,
back
people are
following
dropping in and out.
The New York Stock Exchange.
Some
It
people are
changes.
coming. Some people are not coming. But
Now Gareth is out.
no, Gareth is super in. He
He's
can't-
the power top.
He can't wait.
You're honored when Gareth.
He's in everybody.
That'll be hot.
You can do any trout fishing?
I will do I'll do zero fishing. I
Good
can't.
trout fishing. Well, it's supposed to be good trout fishing. I didn't catch any, but
Well, I just don't think that's on my radar. I'm not much of an angler.
Well, what are you planning on doing?
We got 2 rounds of golf scheduled.
Nice.
We'll do some hiking,
Nice.
and then just
Hiking with the guys.
just getting to know each other better.
You got to be on a 1 to 10. Your excitement level for this affair.
8.
Really?
Yeah, just take some time off and hang out with my friends, who some of them I don't see that often.
Herb.
That'd be great. No, I see Herb plenty. I see just enough of Herb, but
one of your days is
all my
like basically
friends.
driving.
Yeah,
What are you driving Wednesday?
No, Thursday.
Ooh.
Thursday, Marnin, Airbnb doesn't open up till like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. But the drive is kind of the fun part, like you get to hang out with. Yeah, you get to hang. If you're driving by yourself, I would say no. But because I'm with my friends, and that's just kind of fun. I kind of like a road trip. I've never been like bothered by like long car rides.
I get that.
Unless it's like really like the drive from Florida, like the 18-hour drive from Florida, South Florida up to St. Louis.
Did you do that by yourself, bro?
Me and my mother, who is asleep most of the time, so basically, and brutal.
Yeah.
It sucks. But we split it up. I never ever drive straight through. Growing up, if we had a long car ride, it was hotel at night because my dad would drive the whole time.
I had to. Well, I felt like I had to in March of 2020 with the pandemic.
Yeah, that
and
makes
at the
sense.
time, my oldest son was 2, and so we left Jupiter at 7 a.m. and I crossed the Mississippi 7 I think it was 7 Eastern, and crossed the Mississippi River at 11:50 p.m.
Oh,
And
man.
I drove the entire way.
Oh,
And my older son vomited right on 40, right in front of St. Louis U High. I don't know if that was some
Is that
kind
a
of
sign?
message. You can text in Engineer Design Facilities. Text inbox already active as the people wanted to make sure they set the tone for the program. I've noticed that that's one of the moves. 314-881-TMA5. What's the problem, Miggy?
It doesn't matter where I put this headphone cord. I hit it.
You kid it?
I hit it. If I put it here, I move my hand, I do this. It's over there, so I have my coffee, I move my hand, and I do that.
Is your cord shorter than the average cord?
Yeah, sure.
There's a Pepper and Genie cord length shortage.
Dude, when we go to the phone, I have to actually take
Boy,
off
does.
my head. I have to, like, I have to
Iggy,
take
switch
Well,
my
my
headphones.
I put it.
the
I put it.
headsets
Well, I put it in this one, which is mine, but I keep hitting it with my right arm when I move it. So I put it over here, and now I just hit it with my left
Here,
hand.
Iggy, flip your headphones so the phone's on the other end, so your cord is on your
Well, I
left
got to
hand
tell you
side.
something. That's a sharp
because-
move. That's going to give you about 6 more inches inside of you.
Yeah.
There you
I'm
go.
telling you, this is going to
That
really
is
change the
right
game.
there. That helps.
I don't. It's lopsided. That's why I
take
put
a
it-
shot?
That was a shot.
No, that's
All
why I
right,
put it on the
there's
other
a shot.
side because they don't fit that way.
All right.
All right, there it is.
I just have to deal with it.
Watch
but it's
on
just,
YouTube and
It's
see
just,
what's going on. We're battling.
I keep hitting the cord.
All right. So you can text in 314-881-TMA5. EDF is now the Engineered Design Facilities Group, heretofore known as the EDF Group, sponsor of the pre-party before the Dotem, and I got some Dotem news I need to attend to, but I got so many things on my desk here. Engineer Design Facilities is moving forward as the EDF Group, the most experienced data center and critical facilities service provider in the St. Louis market. Check out the newly revamped website, theedfgroup.com, and take a look at each of the 3 divisions they have to offer. EDF Group is your one throat to choke for all your critical facilities, data center, commercial fire alarm, and electrical and IT infrastructure needs. To contact the EDF Group, email fire@theedfgroup.com. Experience the EDF Group difference and learn more at theedfgroup.com. It's the Munganess, St. Louis Acura, and Alton Toyota 7 o'clock hour. Go online at stlouisacura.com and altontoyota.com or call the secret phone number, 314-252-0029. You can text it as well, 314-252-0029. And I hear tell that Clayton Patterson gets back to you lickety-split if you text that number. And you actually have somebody working directly with you as you buy or lease a car or you need service. It is Munganess, St. Louis Acura, and Alton Toyota, sponsor of our 7 o'clock hour and the Daily Fantasy Sports Showdown.
I talked to Jamie Saturday about the Fantasy Showdown.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he just wanted to see what we're going to do next week. And I said, maybe Tim can pick. Maybe Jackson can pick.
Nice.
But don't do it as a game in the standings, because Doug, if I win, Doug's going to say it doesn't count anyway because he's not here.
Mm-hmm.
So just pick to try and make money.
That's fine. I'm happy to do it. This is a week that the Tam Avenue Capital Partners will take off.
Yeah, me too, probably. But
who won the showdown?
Oh, he won.
Doug kicked Iggy's ass.
I think Doug,
Really?
Doug
Doug had a sick lineup.
He did.
Cashed some.
Who was on his lineup, brah?
So he had Matty Fitz.
Matty Fitz.
He also had Patty Cantlay.
Oh, wow.
And then...
Was that a T3?
Yeah, so he had T3 and the winner. Somehow...
Jeez.
Yesterday when I looked...
Didn't he have Taylor Moore?
He did have Taylor Moore.
Yeah, because the Wizard was telling me statistically, I just like to throw, like, $25 on somebody who probably isn't going to win, but is a super long shot. And the Wizard was telling me before the day that his statistics made
I think Cantlay had third by himself, which is why I didn't cash in my double up.
Yeah.
He knocked Shoffley down to fourth.
Yeah, JT, Taylor Moore, Ben Griffin, Zach Johnson, Fitzy, and...
Zach Johnson make the cut?
He did.
Did Griffin make the cut?
He did. All five.
Yeah, that's right. He did. He had a good week.
All 6 of his players made the cut.
Wow.
Now, can someone explain this to me? How does Cantlay have more points than Fitzpatrick?
That is surprising. He had a hole-in-one, and you get a lot of points for a hole-in-one, though.
That makes sense.
So there you go. So did he cash?
$20.
And what was the entry fee?
$5.
Oh, 400%.
Yeah.
Plowhawk. This
That's
is an
sick.
ROI headquarters here in the Michelob Ultra Studios. Wow.
Yeah, Iggy unfortunately had a miscut with Montgomery.
He was leading the tournament after 5 holes, believe it or not. He birdied 3 of his first 4 holes and was 3 under, was leading the tournament, and didn't come. I think he shot 6 over.
Well, with that cash, Doug has brought the total. I keep track of total dollars made in this. Iggy has made $38 for the charity. Doug has made $36 now.
Now, I assume this is not a P&L, but strictly a revenue. This is a top line.
This is straight money acquired.
That's the best way to frame it.
The money
we're not going to talk about expenses.
No.
No entry
not
fee.
germane.
Entry fees come back. So they beat me by what, 80?
So
I don't think it was that much, actually.
You had 437.
That's not bad.
He had 541.
Oh, so 100. Because I almost cashed with the same lineup in my double up. And I would have cashed if Cantlay doesn't birdie the last hole, because I get a third instead of a fourth. And I only missed cashing by a point.
Looks like you're 15 points shy of cashing this week. But, so Doug has brought it back to the standings so far. Iggy has 7 wins. Doug has 6.
Wow. Nice battle.
Yeah, really nice.
I wouldn't count this week anyway, even if Doug was not vacationing in the Hamptons. All right, the text inbox firing on all cylinders in the early going. You're also welcome to call in, and I guess you get a chance to talk to KG in O-Town today, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Just talk it over with them, 636-9004-TMA. That's how you can call in and get involved, and, of course, email in for our Design Air Heating and Cooling email today, the morning after, at InsideSTL.com. Design Air Heating and Cooling online at DesignAirService.com. And by the way, I didn't know that this was coming, Iggy, and I don't blame you at all. I mean, I know you're on top of it, but God Almighty, I kind of thought we were going to enjoy wonderful weather, and then it'll get hotter than hell sometime in mid-May, and that's fine. I'll take that over the cold. But we have a high of 50 on Saturday and Sunday. This weekend looks like something in February.
Yeah, and then into next week, too, in the lows in the 40s, highs in the low 60s. So,
Ugh.
What happened?
Sucks.
Well,
We had a pony for like 10 days. I felt
Friday.
like there was tripping everywhere.
yeah, it's usually once the Masters starts, it's warm weather, but every once in a while you get that little,
Yeah, but we got a week of it.
yeah, you get that little spurt of get rid of the chilly weather. I mean, it's not cold, but it usually happens when I put my hummingbird feeder out, then it gets cold.
That's what it is. That's what causes it.
Yeah, it's just an omen. Oh, it's 85. It's gonna. I'm putting the hummingbird feeder up, and let's have tornadoes in 40. Poor hummingbirds.
Poor hummingbirds. Design Air will take care of your hummingbirds and your air conditioning. This is the time to do it. You know it's going to get hot. You know you're going to need that air conditioning, so make sure you go online at designairservice.com and work with the great Seth Goldcamp. And whereas I am more than happy to introduce people who email me directly to our sponsor, Seth says it's actually quicker to just go to designairservice.com, and that's how quick things are turned around when you go in that and the chat bubble pops up and you're talking with the service tech and they get out there quick, fast, in a hurry. I would recommend scheduling the air conditioning service tune-up for the summer. Design Air Heating and Cooling, designairservice.com. Harrison's brother Master is really active. Jackson, do you have the text in?
I sure do.
I mean, Iggy, he is insisting that the breathing is at an all-time record, and I am looking at Iggy right now, Harrison's brother Master, and I would say there's about 2 feet between Iggy and the microphone.
Whatever.
There's the response. Let's see. I was just informed that Learn is talking about having threesomes on the Riz Show. Can we pull the audio? That's from Joshy Tuna. Learn's first day on the Riz Show today.
Oh, yeah.
But Rafe is ill.
Ah, it's a shame.
So today was supposed to be the first new lineup, and Rafe is ill. But Learn is in for her first day on the Riz Show. I was listening this morning.
Yeah, I listened this
but
morning.
I didn't hear any threesome talk.
Well, and we can't just go to their audio right away and pull it up. I mean, their show's still going on, so just like our show, you can't listen to the 7 o'clock hour now. You got to wait till the audio's put up. So,
Boom.
I don't know when. I don't know when King Scott puts their hours up. If they wait till the end of the day or not, I don't know. But yeah, supposedly they had 4 or 5 arrangements from Walter Nolan there. They rolled out the red carpet for her. And the first thing they were talking about was jerseys at sporting events, which I'm sure Learn loved.
Oh, sounds like you're not happy with the content.
Are you trying to recruit her over here?
Yeah, I'm gonna trash their content. No, so she'll be fine. That's a great group of people, so she'll be.
She can be fine.
Nice throwaway line there.
She'll just be fine.
Hey, Jackson, when you and the fellas get tired of pounding each other during the weekend, make sure to give the wife and me a text, and we can come down and give you 5 fresh holes to abuse.
God almighty.
Hi, Plowsy. That's from Sean Mahoney's Deadeye.
I'm going to say this
What
right
up,
now.
Sean?
Jackson's going to issue a statement.
I'm gonna issue a
A lot of
statement.
statements usually in the text inbox. Today, Jackson is going to make a statement.
I want everyone to listen closely here. Turn up your radio if you're driving. You can go on a trip with your buddies to any location in the world. Prod Joe knows this. And you cannot have gay sex.
Put
Like
that
it's
off.
it's totally in play to like hang out with your friends and it be totally platonic, no nefarious activity going on. It can just be a good time.
Cletus would beg to differ, but I know where you're coming from.
Yeah, I mean Cletus, what they call it is hostile for married men. All of that aside.
The married man he keeps on retaining.
Right.
Which is accurate.
And nurses. Yeah, no, this is totally like a platonic trip with me and my buddies. You know, what you do in your free time, God bless. We don't kink shame.
We don't.
We're
It's
pro
a
liberty.
tenet.
But we can totally be, just going on this trip.
Do you think? Let me ask you this:
Yeah.
Do you think anybody will have sex with a female on this trip?
Oh man, I'd put that at a
Minus 1,800. And if it would be, it would just be a Herb.
no, Herb is a man in love. I would say like that would be minus 850.
Minus
Oh,
850.
the fact that
you can
like
get paid.
if you can find someone, that's not the issue. It's saying, hey, don't mind the 11 other dudes that are in this Airbnb with me. I promise they won't listen.
Great call, Plow. Yeah, I mean, we did the same arrangement in Nashville, same amount of guys. And people were like, oh, you guys going to try to take home some girls? I'm like, what? I'm going to take home some girls? Kick the 3 other guys who I'm sharing a room with out so I can try to get this working?
Well, I'm sure they live somewhere. Go to their house.
Well, if they're on vacay, too.
Go to their hotel room.
There's a lot of hotels in Sparta, Tennessee.
Look, if you put it at plus 850, I'll take it because I'll find a hooker down there somewhere and pay $100
so you're gonna
to.
invest in the hooker.
Yeah, for $100.
And then you'll have some kind of margin. This is kind of a nice. This is a
Go
nice
bang
play.
this guy. Don't tell him you're a hooker, but here's 150. Bang him, and then I make $650.
Look at that.
You like
Look at
send
that.
them
little busman.
send them like a grainy picture of me, and they'll have to go find me at whatever.
Well, I'll tell her to film
Hoosier
it.
bar we're at down there,
She wouldn't mind filming it.
where it's probably 90% guys.
She wouldn't.
Good morning. I've never gone on a trip with my male friends and not let at least one of them use me as a personal sex doll. So sorry, Jackson, but you're wrong. That's from Sean Mahoney's Deadeye. Jackson, if you have to insist that your time with buddies is platonic, then it most certainly is not. That's from Danny Tanner. Tennessee is where friends become lovers. Come here, Bill. That's from Mitch. Watch me shoot fireworks all over your cumstein. So sounds like people are a little skeptical of you.
Yeah, I get it. I get where people's mind goes, and I don't blame them for such thinking. But it's totally just not accurate. It was just going to be.
Looks like gay porn here.
Right. Frank, relax. It's not what it is. It's totally just a bunch of friends hanging out. And if you wanna look down upon that or think something else is going on, God bless. But I can promise you, it's not.
When is it okay to kiss a guy?
Ken should bebop on down the hall and pop his head into the 105.7 The Point Studios to ask when their podcast will be posted. That's from March 2023, Milagro Tequila Lister of the Month, Brian Henshin.
I didn't ask the question.
That would be great.
Somebody else said, when can you post it?
Hey, Lauren, I heard you're talking about having threesomes on the Riz Show. We wanted to hear it. Can you post the podcast?
Yeah, just walk in there and don't say anything. Don't be like, hey, I'm sorry. Just go in there and start demanding things.
Oh, I'm sure somebody's already texted into their show.
We had remember it was me, you, and her in the studio at 2 in the afternoon one day. Do you remember this? And she was talking about not I don't know how to describe it. She was saying she would be willing to, for the purpose of being a sport for her longtime husband, Tim, not me, longtime husband, Tim. You've known Tim for how long? 15 years, something like that?
He used to work at 1380.
That's exactly right, yes. But I don't know what avenue she's traveling down on today's debut of Learn on the Riz Show.
Yeah.
Joshy Tuna, we can't get the audio. The podcast
Right,
isn't.
that's a tough thing, and you don't want to pull some that they haven't posted yet. But yeah, I think she's so great. She's an unbelievable talent. So, and when she would come on our show, we have that drop of her saying, "What is a cuck?" And I think
I'm trying to find that one right now.
Yeah,
that's a cuck.
Right. So she knows the game.
How are the sports? Are they great? Was on Casey though.
Yeah,
correct?
That was with me.
That was when you were.
That was in the midst of the Albert 700 chase.
Oh, is that right?
And so she asked, "How are the sports? Are they great?" And I think I responded with, "Yes, they're outstanding." How does one respond to how are the sports? Are they great?
Jackson, have any of your friends backed out of the cabin trip out of fear they might find themselves desiring the touch of a mustache on their lips? That's from the Hunchback of Vaughan Castle.
No, I think that would actually bring in some of the guys on the fence if there was some mustache lip touching.
That's odd.
I don't. Not many of my friends have mustaches. They got full beards, but not necessarily just straight mustache.
A beard with no stash?
No, mustache included, but not just a mustache. I think just a mustache outside of our friend the Plowhawk is kind of rare.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know many folks with just.
You got a little 5 o'clock shadow. You got a
I
little
got a
5
shave.
o'clock
It's
shadow.
my shave day today. Going with the game tonight, though. Going to see a Flaherty start tonight.
Against the
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Going with Cucky.
Oh, wow.
That's actually a hell of a twosome. Just
Yeah.
you two? Or
No,
the
me,
ladies?
Cucky, and Madison and Jenny. So we're going there tonight, and so get to see a great game.
Green seats?
I don't think so. I think they're really nice seats, though. They're law firm seats, if I'm not mistaken.
Helmet nachos?
I'm going to get a helmet nacho just for a pet. I'm going to get.
And you're gonna eat it. Let's not. beat
I'm
around
going
the
to carry
bush.
that and a cotton candy and see.
All right, I got to make sure I get to the news and notes here. So, are you guys aware of what happened with the Dotem registration on Friday?
A little bit. I was talking to Jesse.
Okay. So, were you about to? Somebody about to? I feel like
I said selling out in 3 minutes was what the only
so.
news.
So here's what Jesse was explaining to me took place. I gather, if I'm putting 2 and 2 together and attempting to perform some kind of algebra on the back end of a formula, that people wanted the Friday slot for the Dotem, presented by Michelob Ultra, 7th annual, May 18th and 19th, also sponsored by Munganess, St. Louis Acura, and Family Golf. Yep. the Friday spot more desirable. Is that a consensus? Is that agreed? I don't know. You think that's the case?
Yeah, because they don't have to work the next day and they
Right.
can party more. So,
KG in O-Town, do you have any intel on this?
I do not.
Okay, all right. So the Friday spot, if indeed, is more desirable. So what happened was, this is what Jesse and I were theorizing after she called me to tell me what was going on, that people formed conglomerates, and one member or two members would get on and be responsible for getting the Friday tea time. But if they couldn't get the Friday tea time, they booked the Thursday tea time with another member of the conglomerate. And then, so you see what's going to happen
That's
here,
exactly-
Plowhawk?
that's exactly what happened.
Damn.
So Friday sells out within a minute. I think it was your father who said he was waitlisted 8:01.
Yeah,
Okay.
legitimately, yeah.
So Friday sells out within a minute, and then Thursday sells out actually within 4 minutes. And Jesse said, though, that you could keep your shopping cart open, not check out, and then if it was about to time out, you could extend it indefinitely. You could just keep extending it another 10 minutes. But people were just buying Thursday, and then if their buddy in their conglomerate got the Friday tea time, then Jesse received, I think she said, 7 emails saying, I need to cancel my Thursday booking.
Wow.
Now, I have to tell you, I respect the play. There were no rules against said play, and if you want to make sure you're playing, we're flattered that people want to play that badly, that they set up, you know, like
100%.
Norman Schwarzkopf battlefield attacks to make sure that they're able to play. But because I believe that there's not a no refund policy, Jesse, I believe, was just going to allow it and refund the people. I think, like I said, she got 7 emails saying, I need my money back for the Thursday tea time. So therefore, there are I believe, I don't know, I haven't, I didn't want to bother her over the weekend, but I believe there are Thursdays available. Fridays sold out immediately. Thursdays then sold out, except then people ask refunds. And again, I'm not saying anybody did anything wrong. I think that was the right play, as a matter of fact.
Oh, yeah.
It's just there will be a defense mechanism against that play being utilized in 2024, and that will most likely be Hubbard won't allow refunds so that you don't get in a spot where you have people. Because we're on the air because we got text saying that it sold out, and it did, but then people then contacted her later in the morning, in the afternoon, wanting refunds. And like I said, they did nothing wrong. If anything, I think it was the smart play based on the rules of the game.
yeah, I think I talked to Jess. Probably the best thing to do next year is that have 2 days to register. You know, Thursday, whatever date. Okay, today you're registering for Thursday.
I see what you're saying.
And the next day, Friday. Okay, today you're registering for Friday.
That makes sense.
That's
That
a nice
way-
play, Iggy.
That way you're only registering for the
Little
day we
busman.
have.
Yeah, a little busman. I mean, you're profiting on prostitution in East Tennessee, and now you're solving the problem with the Dotem registration loophole.
You can get these headphones straightened out. You're
You
going
might be on the board
town.
here before you know it.
And when I talked to Jess, as of Friday, there were, I think, 6 foursomes
Oh, is that
available
right?
for
Okay.
Thursday.
All right. Name shame these clowns. That's from former fan page moderator Neil Allen, Craig Paquette. But here's the thing.
They're not clowns.
They did. I mean, I would
It
have
was
done
with
the
it.
same
Yeah,
thing.
it was a smart play.
100%.
I really do.
Yeah.
You know, and if we're going all that causes some. First off, you know, those foursomes will be sold, but we just were, you know, under the impression that they had sold out, and they did, except that people then go, okay, we're good for Friday, then we need a refund.
Yeah.
So, but then what my guess will be, although I kind of like your plan a little bit, but although you wouldn't say no refunds, but I like your plan that, okay, Friday is indeed the more desirable day for the Dotem, and I assume that it is. That would make sense. And we all agree that Friday is the more desirable? Okay.
Yeah.
Then have the sale for the Friday tickets be on a Thursday, and then you know it's sold out, and then you didn't get in, and then sell the Thursday day the following Friday. I know that sounds confusing, but in my head it makes sense as I'm saying it.
That makes sense.
Hunchback of Von Castle says, tell these fools it's not my problem. It should be their responsibility to sell their unwanted Dotem tickets. Combine Iggy's idea and also say no refunds. That's from the Hunchback of Von Castle. Iggy is earning his paycheck today with KG and O-Town in studio. It's fun to watch iron sharpen iron. That's from the 573.
This is iron sharpening iron.
Is that what this is?
Uh-huh.
And I love how they think Iggy's stepping up because KG and O-Town is in studio.
Yeah, his prostitution idea wouldn't have worked if Jackson were in there.
Lighting a fire under his ass.
Yeah, if he wasn't here and Jesse told me about it Friday, I said, no, I don't care. I'm not going to come up with any ideas. Do it yourself. But because KG was here, I better come up with something.
But it's going to sell out. I mean, eventually Thursday is going to sell out.
Well, yeah,
by
and
the
also,
end of the night.
but if you're listening to the show, you're like, it's all sold out. You're like, oh, screw it. We're not going to be able to
Yeah,
get
you're
it.
not
And
trying to
then, so I understand. So that's that. I mean, Jesse was, I think we were on the phone like at 11:30 or something on Friday, and she goes, this is so weird. It sold out, or people just kept their shopping carts open until they knew their friend had booked it.
Right.
And so it blocked people and then sent them right to the waiting list because when the people are in the shopping cart, if they don't check out, it still shows that it's sold.
Oh, yeah, that makes
See what
sense.
I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
that makes
anyway,
sense.
even with no refunds, I'm sure these people could go on the fan page and sell your foursome. That's from the 314. That would make sense. I also just want to, anytime I get an opportunity to do so, you have to understand that not everybody who listens to the show is on Facebook or on the TMA fan page, so it's just not one and the same. Scott's wrinkled ball sack, not his wife, says, Nipples and myself went all in on Friday because that was our only available day we could play. It didn't work out, no big deal. Sounds like it's time to pivot the wife and I's attention, though. What are the Lisa Ann dating game details? That's from Scott's wrinkled ball sack.
Do we have...
Have they ever participated in it? No. They have not. Wow, it sounds like you immediately have that
Well,
day.
he's
You
the-
are having a big day.
he's the czar.
Yeah, we remember that. Maybe they did. Maybe they did one year.
Oh, wow.
Arguing with yourself.
Yeah, now I'm confused.
Well, you confused yourself, sir.
Well, ball sack, let me know.
Scott's wrinkled ball sack. Or maybe she can call in and see if there is any interest in Sappho's. It's like there is a ghost of an actual producer running around in that old smoke bag's body this morning. That's from Nathan from the east side of Alton. I think it's more of a savvy businessman this morning.
Yeah, for
I mean,
real.
you're a
It's
problem
just-
solver. You're creating profit out of Jackson's trip by soliciting prostitution for Herb.
Right, you
That's
kinda
just
tipped
the way
your
my
hand on
mind
it, though.
works. That's the way my mind works.
Is any of your friends
It's like
listening?
Warren Buffett is
When it
in.
comes to sex. No, it's just an idea. It's a year away before we do it.
That was a lie.
What is? Oh, the next year's dotem.
Yeah, the next dotem.
Right. Let's see. What about doing it on Friday and Saturday? What about doing what on Friday and Saturday?
Golf tournament on Saturday? No.
No, like Thursday, Friday, perfect. Honestly, I think if you can get a day to where you can just take Friday off, Thursday is a great move.
Yeah,
I mean, you can get really sound in on Thursday and have that 3-day weekend to yourself there.
Thursday last year was a pony, except right at the end, the tornado.
And no one
entered
saw
the
it
chat.
coming.
Yeah, it was a slight drizzle.
The problem with Scott's wrinkled ballsack playing in the game, the dating game, is he keeps knocking her up. Iggy's playing footsie with me. I just felt it.
Yeah, I saw that.
Get off of her ballsack so you can play in the game. That's from Steve, Chairman Steve in Wildwood. I think they're probably done at this point. I think they're at 5 or 6 children.
Yeah, I think 5.
I think they're probably done at this point. Yeah, Lisa Ann and her, before the show at Maggie O'Brien's last year, there was a little conversation.
That was the Loomster's wife, wasn't it?
No. It was me, Lisa Ann, and Scott's wrinkled ballsack talking, and then I had to go tend to something, and then 10 minutes later I came back, and they were still there, and I'm like, oh, look at this. Look at this.
I spy.
I spy. Sapphic play. If we register for Thursday, can we still have free putting green access? That is from Arbor Day. Jackson, you're in charge of who gets free putting game access.
To be determined. I'll have to see your outfit for the tournament. Denim golf won't be allowed on the putting greens.
If you take off Friday and play Thursday, you're taking 2 days off. Plowboy, you moron. That's from Harrison's brother Master, who is just loaded for bear this morning.
Why do you have to be a moron?
He is particularly angry this morning.
Deerberg's, I'm sure, has a great program to where you can take 2 days off in a row to play golf.
Damn.
What about putting a cost premium on Friday, charge more for Friday and less for Thursday? That may end this nonsense. That's from Nathan from the east side of Alton.
Don't like that at all. I think they both should be the same price for the same day.
When is this Lisa Ann dating game? That's from Sweet Sweet Kai. Is Sweet Kai? Does he have a sapphic significant other?
He does.
And she's sapphic?
No, but I've told the story that Sweet Kai
He was scolded by a lesbian?
By a lesbian that he doesn't deserve his girlfriend because
So what is
she's
she
too
hot?
beautiful.
Is she hot?
Yeah, she's beautiful. She's
You kind of got
lovely.
high pitched though. I noticed that
No, I
your
mean,
involuntary reaction.
It's kind of weird for me to be like, yeah, one of my best friend's girlfriend
Yeah,
is very
I
attractive.
kind of get that.
But she is. She's beautiful. She's wonderful. She's a wonderful human being. But I think they're going to be moving to the great state of West Virginia before the Dotem. So I don't know.
Old money then, huh?
Unless they want to stick around. Well, she's a travel nurse.
I'm kidding. I'm
And
kidding.
so
That's a
they're-
good gig.
Yeah, and West Virginia. I mean, it's Charleston, West Virginia. Is a cool place.
We've driven through there going to D.C., and I tell you, I had a really bad Wendy's experience there.
All right.
But the scenery...
Was it Wheeling by chance? You're in West Virginia for about 4 minutes when you drive on I-70.
Then it gotta be, because we weren't there for that long. It didn't feel like the best part of West Virginia. The Wendy's was rough, but the scenery was great.
I think
Like
it's where
it is
Jerry West
beautiful.
is from. Jerry West is from Wheeling, West Virginia.
It would make sense. There aren't a whole lot of metropolitan areas. Guys, wasn't that year of the Dotem played on a Monday and Tuesday where cast members were unknowingly put up for auction and bids were solicited through a text line that is lousy with trolls and anonymity? That's from Deke Dotem.
Can confirm.
That was the Monday and Tuesday
It was a
Dotem?
Monday and Tuesday, and and the
What a great
the
business.
text on the bids.
You were
I was
currently
out.
furloughed.
I wasn't even there.
The texts on the bid were, for some reason, it was my job to write them down and like bookkeep for them. And I kept getting texts like, "How much for this person?" I was like, "I don't know. I got it from some guy named Nipples the Bull. Like, how am I don't know if that's real or not."
None of us would read the copy. And so Rockio looked like Frank Cusimano at the Man and the Woman press conference. You know, like he was pleading for his life as he read in a monotone. The putting green is free this year. You can sign up and please buy our talent. We are upside down financially and need to do whatever we can.
The copy would change almost by the hour, and so a whole ream of paper went through just so Rock could have some coffee. For
I heard
the
you could
damn
feel the
Dotem.
beads of sweat dripping down Rocky.
I witnessed it firsthand. Iggy, what time can those of us who aren't golfing swing by for some free donuts? That's from John in the 214.
Do what you want.
So you're not policing. You're not policing.
Last year you wanted to have some kind of plan to keep people.
Yeah, the freebies out.
Marshals.
That's great.
Hanger-oners. But this year, come on.
Hanger-oners, usually known as hangers-on, but why?
Come do what you want this year. I don't care.
Wow, free-for-all.
Yeah, I don't care. I'm not paying attention to anything.
After the pizza theft last year.
Yeah, we did.
Take all you want. Go
Pizza
ahead.
cops.
Put boxes of donuts down your pants and leave. I don't care.
Let's see. Scott's Wrinkled Ballsack has issued a statement. Tough yet true, Steve. She might be willing to try the touch of soft skin to avoid another pregnancy, though. That's from Scott's Wrinkled Ballsack. Wow.
I love when she teases like that.
Isn't that drop in regard to Scott's Wrinkled Ballsack?
Yeah, it
I
is.
think it was.
Yeah, meta play.
That was nice work, Bob.
Morning, guys. Similar to Jackson's scrapbooking weekend with his besties in Branson, we won't be having any gay sex at this morning's beat-off sesh. However, Marty Horowitz's grandson will be joining us this afternoon for supper entertainment. He'll free solo your dong for a Braden Looper bobblehead. Thanks. That's from the Dragon Slayer. Looking for tracking information for the Chris Santilli book, Tuba and Grumpy lost in a cubbyhole 2 years ago.
So many layers.
Tuba.
So many layers. Free solo your dong is an incredible. What an incredible sentence.
I gave it to Rock. He said he put it in a cupboard back in the room where I used to edit, but things disappear out of there all the time.
That's where the 360 machine was. That cupboard got ransacked.
Just, oh, here's a book. I'm taking it.
That text really, I feel like I know a guy named Marty Horowitz or something, and if I ever meet him again, it's going to be really awkward.
Sounds like a Curb Your Enthusiasm character.
Yeah, it does. It's a good call.
I'll run the Lisa Ann thing for the dating game by my wife. I give it about a 3% chance of success, but shooter's got to shoot, right? Also, who's going to guard the burgers from whichever fat thinks he's grabbing dinner for the fam post-golf? That's from Carlos Spicy Winter. Yeah, after each day of the Dotem, Rockstar Smash Burgers will be there. And I do believe that you will probably see people take some home for the family, Carlos Spicy Winter.
Tin foil in their back pocket.
I would imagine. Jonathan Mardukas is not happy with something. I will deep tease that. He's from the 913. Before I deep tease it, I would like to tell the people Michelob Ultra is the sponsor of the Dotem and the J. Randolph Jr. Fan Page Club Championship. 95 calories, 2.6 grams of carbs. It's Michelob Ultra. Studio sponsor here on TMA, which you can see every day via youtube.com/TMA. STL. Looking for a pony? Go to Maggie O'Brien's. That's where we're going to have the Dotem Pre-Party in Sunset Hills. Although I think there's a chance we might be doing it downtown. Have you heard tell on that? Have you heard?
I've heard the same thing that we might do it downtown. That'd be awesome.
Oh my gosh, that would be wonderful. If you haven't been there, it's phenomenal.
Yeah, I'd love for that.
The renovations that the great Eddie McVeigh has done. It's Maggie O'Brien's. It's a locally owned, family-owned Irish pub. It's been in business for 4+ decades. You know what you're going to get there, and that's going to be great food and great service and a really good time. It's Maggie O'Brien, Sunset Hills, and downtown St. Louis. Jackson, can you tell the people about Muggsy, your pant toy?
Oh, boy, I would love to tell everybody about Muggsy. Man, on Friday, weather was so outstanding, and I slipped into a pair of my Muggsy shorts.
Oh, Bill.
Just let those thighs breathe. My balls felt free. It felt like my balls were on vacation, man. It felt like summer. And that's what Muggsy can do. And now it's gotten a little bit cold, so you throw the Muggsy jeans or the Muggsy chinos or the joggers back on. Still just as comfortable, balls still free. You know, that's all that matters. That's what Muggsy does, is they create world-class pants that don't compromise style for comfort. You have both when you wear Muggsy's. People looking at you like, damn, those are some fine pants. I can't imagine they're very comfortable. Oh, on the contrary.
Oh, wow.
They're incredibly comfortable, and they look great. That's what Muggsy does for you. So head to Muggsy.com right now. Peruse their website. You'll see about 3 or 4 different items that you'll want. You'll probably want more, but you might only pick out 3 or 4 items. Put them in your cart and use the promo code TMA at checkout. That gets you 10% off your entire order with free shipping and free returns. Again, Muggsy.com, promo code is TMA for 10% off your entire order. Free your balls once and for all and experience life-changing comfort with Muggsy.
Plowhawk, the unhappiness from Jonathan Mardukas is the following. And he's in the 913, which I believe is Rock Chalk Jayhawk. Yeah. I know it's my fault, but can we address TMA all day again? Over the weekend, it was nothing but last week's shows. Yes. The entire weekend. It was fine, but where are these 900 segments Weed Boy has created? That's from Jonathan Mardukas. Plowhawk, your opportunity to talk to John Mardukas.
For one, I'm honored that Weed Boy is now a new nickname.
And you're honored to talk to Jonathan Mardukas.
No, and they are in there. You can ask Jackson. There are definitely 500 plus best ofs in different variation of length. But that is how we do the show. Like I said, starting at 9 a.m. Saturday and Sunday both, 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. or 12 a.m. Excuse me. It is Mondays 3 segments, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday 3 segments, Friday 3 segments. If you do the math on that, there's a few best ofs peppered in there to kind of fill in the time after the 3rd segment. And that's kind of how our weekend goes. Now, you know, from 12 a.m. to 9 a.m., there are best ofs, you know, all the best ofs that I've created, all those. That's when you can hear them. But from 9 a.m. to 12 a.m., that is going to be your, you know, that's going to be the most of the shows. And I didn't create it that way.
That's the skeleton.
That's just how the skeleton goes.
That's how the skeleton goes.
Give us and it taketh away.
Yeah, and I do have I have the ability for myself to make all those all-day best ofs, but I can't do that with, I don't have the authority to change that.
Who has the authority to handle the skeleton?
I feel bad to even say Tommy's name because he has a lot of other things to worry about, and I'm sure a couple
launching a brand new morning show.
Yeah, a couple emails about the skeleton for TMA all day. I don't know if it's going to be top priority.
You should send him an email, and then there's an option to hit high priority email that gives an exclamation point. Throw that bad boy on there and see how that goes.
Just really stir up the pot. So, yes, I understand maybe the frustration. I don't know. I think that what we do, our shows, they're bangers.
I was listening over the weekend at some, or maybe I can't remember when, but I heard the Weezer segment, and I've probably heard it 100 times. It still makes me laugh.
Yep.
Just that.
So, well, then, therefore, that couldn't have been last week's shows.
No, I don't remember when I was, but
if you were listening this weekend, but what John Mardukas in the 913 said is that that's the only thing that was.
But
that's just not true.
But I did explain if you turn it on at 8 a.m., 7 a.m., 6 a.m., 5 a.m., and so forth, you're going to hear the best ofs. Now, starting at 9 a.m., like I said, on the Saturday and Sunday, that's when Monday's show kicks off, and then Tuesday goes after that, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
Yeah. Would it be possible to publish the schedule of when show replays are on versus best ofs will be playing so people will know when not to listen? That's from Turvis Parish.
I mean, you listen to the show live, but yet you don't want to hear it back.
Right. Like,
I mean,
that is that thing right there.
You
Where
did-
he just said Tervis Parish. That is not necessary. I mean, that would be like a brutal task to publish. This.
Oh,
The
I just
schedule
did-
is 24 hours long.
I just take a picture of it with my phone, and they can zoom in and look through it.
A
all they
grainy
want.
picture
Oh, just a
from your
grainy, faraway pic, and just make them decipher.
Might
any of
actually
that.
be entertaining.
My only question there is if you know what you want to listen to, oh, I don't want to listen to that. I'm looking forward to this. Just go to the archives and pick what you want to listen to.
I understand that, and that's a fair counter. Somebody just texted in something similar to that. But as a Stern, and I don't listen to Howard Stern nearly as much as I used to, but I know that it's just nice to just hear classic segments, and when they are replaying the show from that week, I know I personally am not that interested unless it's an interview that I wanted to hear that I haven't heard. So if it's something that we can do about it, I think replaying the show on the weekend and perhaps some of the times during the week, maybe the best thing to do would be to change the skeleton.
I am not a web designer by any means, but I'm sure this would be easy to add. Just
It could be automated, I would imagine.
I would just put, you know how you have the drop-down box on the podcast on the TMASTL.com website. I mean, we could add best of segments, and I could reload all of our best ofs into that. I mean, they'd be named similar to what
We've discussed that before. That can be done.
I figure. I mean, I don't know if you have to re-down or re-upload each one individually to the website, or if the website
You would,
can kind
but it could be done in pieces. We could do something.
I would be more than fine doing that if it would eliminate any complaints. And obviously, you could maybe try to keyword search, so it would be a little bit easier to find a specific segment. But yes, I think that would be the better option than change the skeleton. I think what we have is fine, but I think giving the listeners an option to go listen to the Sinbad interview again.
I'm curious, do old segments need to be stripped of outdated live reads? and
Correct.
Previous but not current sponsors. That's from Deke Dotem. Boy, Dotem's having a big 7 o'clock hour.
I don't think-
among us. That is correct.
I don't think you realize, open it up, let's say it's a 58-minute segment. You got to listen to mostly all of it. Even if you put it on 1.5 speed, you still, and then finding a live read, editing that out, resaving all of that, taking out Cardinal talk, Blues talk.
Non-evergreen content.
I mean, it's a lot more difficult. It's easy for me to just go in and find an hour and just slap it in. But that's not how we do it. There's a reason there's no old advertising or, you got to weed out a lot of things. So that's why an hour segment turns into maybe a 22-minute best of segment. So it's not as easy, but I think it would be nice to have those best ofs in the website or the app, easy access that way. So thank you. What was his name?
Mardukas.
John Mardukas. He lives in eastern Kansas,
John.
I believe.
Thank you.
Tim, can you guys also establish an on-call schedule on nights and weekends similar to hospitals? I'd like to have direct access to Plowsy and Rick so that they can change the segment on command if it's not the one that I prefer. That's from Little Tommy Tribbins, who, despite the cold weather, is outside in the parking lot on a trike.
I do not agree Yeah, I do not agree to contact
On call.
information.
Like on call.
Iggy was going to bitch, and then Tim said it was actually a good idea, and now everyone agrees. Lou Lemmings. What is that, like Lou
KG,
Lemmings?
can you name the segment of this Lou Lemmings, please?
Lou Lemmings.
Lululemon.
That might be a new
brand
t-shirt.
314. Ever see that, Jackson?
Yeah,
Lou Lemmings.
It's like a Kevin Miller email come to life.
Lou Lemmings. To use Ken's logic, couldn't we also just replay last week's episodes? That's from Arbor Day.
I think it does get played 2 or 3 times throughout the week, doesn't it?
You got your quarters zipped down a little bit. I don't think I've ever seen that.
You showing off your breasts?
Yeah, must have got caught on the cord.
I forgot
Back up it goes.
you go bareback. I forgot.
Oh.
Yeah, you do. There's no t-shirt under there. Isn't
Is there a way to digitally mark the live reads in real time so when you have to go back, you don't have to listen to the segment again? That's from Hey Man, He-Man.
Yeah, there is. That can be done.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay,
you
that I
can
can-
mark it as it goes, but it's still you
Well, there
still
you go.
have
You'll
to
have
take
to
it out.
manually
Yeah.
edit it out. Yeah.
Still have to take it out.
Guys, I could be in the minority, but even old Cardinal talk is interesting to me because it shows where they were at the time. Also, there are still always funny lines inside of the sports talk. That's from Larry Thornton, the great Larry Thornton.
I mean, I typically
I
just
appreciate. I mean, but I personally don't think that a discussion from 2018 about the Cardinals and whether or not Mike Leake is a viable option out of the bullpen is necessarily great for evergreen content. But if that's what people want, I mean, it just doesn't seem like that would be ideal. Like I know when I make best ofs for 101 ESPN, you want evergreen content. You want stuff that you don't want to just pull a random blues talk from after the losing streak from this year. Like, it doesn't make sense. An interview is better, or something that's evergreen. Traditionally is better for that situation.
I would love to have Rick on call at 3 a.m. on a Saturday after a night of dancing at Tin Roof by himself. Please make this happen. That's from caller Buzz.
For money, yeah. Like if I want to get paid, would that just be like
one of those concierge doctors?
Well,
You'd be on call 24/7.
It sounds like more from Buzz. This is like a hotline for phone
And Buzz
sex.
is the one who's getting fingered by his wife?
Yeah, I guess I could talk him through that.
That's odd.
That'd be kind of fun.
I agree with Larry Thornton on the old Cardinal talk. That's from Uncle Wally's Plastic Ear. That's interesting.
All right.
I don't know.
I guess. I don't think it's that great.
I'm not in my car, just in general. So when I am in the car, I'm honestly not listening to it. Just being real honest with those of you listening and watching. I'm listening to podcasts. What podcast do you think I was listening to on my way out here today? Anybody want to guess?
Is it golf?
Yes.
No laying up?
That's correct.
Nice.
Yeah,
I
nice.
sat and I
Two
watched,
guesses.
I watched the
questions.
entire Harbortown yesterday while working on Sound Story stuff, and had it on. But I'm in the car for what, 15 minutes, and then I'll be in the car for 15 minutes going home. So I don't know. But I mean, you want to give the listeners what the listeners want, and we certainly will do it. And if people are like, yeah, I don't need to hear replays, then I'm happy to go to Tommy or Marty or whomever here and say, hey, it would be better if we play best ofs, and then it will magically be changed. So anytime, and I'm saying this sincerely, anytime you have a question, a comment, a recommendation, please email me, because that is how things can get changed. Texting in, we get, I don't know how many, but, there have been however many texts here that are on the screen, 20, that have been sent in the last 2 minutes. So we don't read every text, and I certainly don't get a chance to read everything on the fan page or Twitter. So T. McKernan at InsideSTL.com. And also you can send in your erotic stories. And I got another one.
For real?
Yeah, it's starting to happen again. And it involves Sapphic. But maybe I'll share it on TMA.
Yeah, it could be.
Yeah.
TMA.
Let me see here.
Yeah, we love made-up stories here.
You think it's made up?
We can't just default.
I got to tell you, actually, it comes from somebody, and they use their they use their email address, and I can see this person is on the TMA fan page and is an actual person, not one of the burner accounts on the TMA fan page.
We can't just default that
Now,
fake.
that could be it could be a real person using a real name, of course, but they're just making up, like Penthouse Forum.
Because they know what you like.
Which is
Sapphic stories, so they just make stuff up with lesbianism in there. Yeah.
That's essentially all that I do like. Yeah, so I was thinking about QFTA erotic story, and also it's a Listener of the Month submission. So maybe it's a way to. You can submit your Milagro Tequila Listener of the Month application by going to tmastl.com. It's Milagro Tequila. Welcome to a brighter side of Milagro. The great Joe Buck has recorded new spots for Sound Story, mysoundstory.com. You'll start hearing those on Hubbard Radio St. Louis here within the next week or two. And it's for Mother's Day, both for gift cards for Mom at mysoundstory.com. And even though the spots haven't started running, TMA, the promo code, is going to get you 15% off. Promo code TMA will get you 15% off a Sound Story gift card for Mother's Day. And you can just get the gift card and then have you and your brothers, sisters, you and your what would be your mother's grandchildren come in and do what me and my brothers and sister did a couple of years ago for my parents with the Sound Story, which is record the Sound Story, telling stories of childhood and your appreciation. Things that really, just to be real blunt, are usually said after someone's gone. But this is a chance for them to hear it now, and that appreciation. And my parents loved it, absolutely loved it. And I want to try to convey that more often when I'm talking about a Mother's Day or Father's Day gift, because we did it, and I know how much they loved it. And whether you have me or Doug or Jackson do the interview, just go to mysoundstory.com, get the gift card, and enter the promo code TMA, and it will subtract 15% off at mysoundstory.com. Mother's Day now less than a month away. All right, I got some fan page club championship news and notes. I've got we got some I don't want to call it drama because then I'm like involved in the creation of drama, and I don't want to call it that. We got a couple of things with the doggies situation. One weather-related, another one related to people who are anti-dogs fans mad with a media outlet because they called them the dogs and demanded they changed it. Is anybody aware of this?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, all right. So we got that going on. And like I said, Phantom Page Club Championship information. We're 13 days away, Iggy.
Ooh.
And I think you're peaking at the right time is what I hear from my scouts.
Well, I played 9 holes. Was it Monday? Tuesday?
How'd you shoot?
I didn't keep score.
Ty Webb.
No, because I dropped a few in the
You
fairway
make
just
yourself up
practicing
against
stuff.
other
I
golfers?
drove the ball well. I mean, I was shocked I drove the ball, so I don't think I missed a fairway. I hit 7 fairways. My short game is just so bad.
That's touch.
That always takes a while to get there. So
For sure.
It's a touch.
the next couple of weeks, I think I'll just either hit family golf or go out to Normandy. Just work on my short game, actually. That's
Skip
what I'll do.
Berkmeyer? You going to give Skip Berkmeyer a call?
No, I'm done with him.
I thought my phone's
Well, he does make fun of me. So.
All right, Skip, you want to? I
After
need to
that
work on my
Nagel
game.
video, I feel like we might have a new match, just you against Berkmeyer. How many pops would he
No, he's the guy who worked on my putting and my short game, and then they called me
Now
out.
I can do the math on that because I got to play a +2 last Saturday, and he had to give me 9 strokes. So if Iggy is an 18 and Skip's like a +3, there we go. It's about +21, and it might be more depending on the course and the tees. So there you go.
Tim, didn't you like peacock it up to the tee, going, "Yeah, I get a pop"?
Oh, he was really displeased with it. I was, of course, 7. All right, are we going to take a break? I'll have all that on the other side of the break. This is the Ryan Kelly Morning After from the Michelob Ultra Studios.
Urban Dictionary defines thirsty as purposely, knowingly, and recklessly attempting to gain fame to boost self-esteem. So, are you thirsty? Well, TMA has you covered. Become a part of the 2023 TMA Listener of the Month Club. You nominate yourself for a monthly award. And if you win, you get recognition and stuff to help you satisfy that insatiable thirst. We're talking January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, etc. Go to TMASTL.com or the TMA app. Give us your name, a photo, and other pertinent information. Tell us why you deserve to be TMA Listener of the Month. And if you don't want to use your real name or photo, we don't really care. The TMA Listener of the Month. Get recognized just for being you or fake you or whatever. Quenched by Milagro Tequila. Welcome to the brighter side of tequila with Milagro in the morning after on KPNT HD2. You're hearing TMA all day on KPNT HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis, featuring the Ryan Kelly Morning After, live from 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. Then a full show replay from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m., followed by the best of TMA from 1 p.m. to 7 p.m., and another same-day replay starting at 10 p.m. Find the full schedule at TMASTL.com. Brought to you by Ryan Kelly at thehomeloanexpert.com, the most efficient mortgage process you'll ever experience.
Biggie's Restaurant and Bar has been a staple of the community for over 30 years and is serving your favorites like the steak sandwich, waffle fries, and so much more. It's not just the food that's rocking. With a full bar and patio, Biggie's is the perfect spot for lunch, dinner, and a little laughter. Biggie's original hours are back. Open 11 a.m. till midnight, Wednesday, Thursday, and Sunday. And 11 a.m. till 1 a.m. on Friday and Saturday. Check out the full menu at biggiesrestaurant.com and stop in today.
Here's Action Jackson with 3 more ways to get TMA content.
Get the TMA mobile app and enable notifications so you don't miss a thing. See our content on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. Stream us on the TMA mobile app and at TMASTL.com.
Thanks, Jackson. It's the Ryan Kelly Morning After on 105.7 FM HD2.
Okay. Hot takes.
Yeah.
Pepperoncini. Pepperoncini.
And now the Pepperoncini Show with Darren Atkins and Ken Strode. All right, take it, fellas.
There it is. That's the open. Pepperoncini. 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 Pepperoncini.
We don't know what it is. We don't understand the name. We just know it's stupid. And it's available every weekday, featuring Iggy and the Plowboy. Apparently it's some kind of a podcast or something. Available at TMASTL.com and on the TMASTL mobile app. Whatever.
Hey, this is Tim McKernan with Doug Vaughn to tell you about a new TMA sponsor, and that sponsor is Green Envy, a locally owned and operated company that can take great care of your lawn this spring. They've been in business, Doug, in St. Louis for over a decade.
Well, they know the conditions that exist here in Missouri. It's hard to have a perfect lawn in Missouri. It gets really cold, it gets really hot, it gets really wet, and really dry. If you don't have people that know what the conditions are like in Missouri, you're going to have trouble. But Green Envy, these people have got it figured out, I tell you.
Yeah, they really do. They treated my lawn earlier this month, and they can do the exact same thing for you. And Green Envy is a company that both Doug and I are using to make sure that our lawns look absolutely spectacular this coming spring and summer. You can work with Green Envy as well. 636-757-1600. That's 636-757-1600. Green Envy.
Hello, it's Jackson for Rosalita's. TMA listeners know that Rosalita's Cantina has the best patio and the best Tex-Mex in town. From tableside guac to piled high nachos, the amazing menu at Rosalita's is full of classic Mexican dishes. Plus, it's always time for a margarita, and Rosalita's has the most delicious house and specialty margs in town. Enjoy happy hour specials Monday through Friday from 3 to 6, and let Rosalita's cater your next event. Check out rosalitascantina.com or visit the downtown or DePere location today. Time to get your fiesta on at Rosalita's.
Hey, this is Tim McKernan of TMA, and we are thrilled to have another new sponsor on board the show. A couple of guys I have gotten to know. Longo Biggs, Injury Law, Doug Biggs, and C.D. Longo here with me. And C.D., one of the things that I want our audience to know is this. When people get injured in an accident, they don't necessarily know what to do, and that's where you guys come into play.
Yeah, Tim, it can be a very confusing process. If you get hurt in a car accident or injured some other way, people do not know what to do. They don't even know how to start a claim. We're going to take the hassle out of your hands and make the entire process very easy. Injury cases are potentially worth a lot of money. We're going to make sure you get every dollar you deserve. We're very excited to be part of the TMA family. We're hoping to have a lot of fun with this. If you or a loved one do get injured, please remember us at Longo Biggs Injury Law. You can visit our website at longobiggs.com, and that is Biggs with 2 G's.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Hey, this is Tim McKernan, and I am here with my insurance agent, James Carlton of the Carlton State Farm Insurance Agency. James presents Gabe DeArmond on TMA every Monday. Gabe DeArmond of PowerMizzou.com, and you're a big Missouri fan, and you want to make it clear to Missouri fans that you are donating to that NIL collective.
Absolutely, Tim. We know that in this landscape, if your NIL is not functioning effectively and it's not funded effectively, it's tough to compete in the SEC. And so what we're offering your listeners out there is everybody's feeling these rate pressures right now, mainly driven by inflationary pressures. And so we're encouraging them to give us a call, get a quote. It takes 5 minutes or less. CarltonInsurance.net, or call us at 314-961-4800. And when you do, mention the Mizzou NIL, which is technically called EveryTrueTiger.com, and we will make a donation of $20 on your behalf just for giving us a call.
How about that, Missouri fans? James Carlton of the Carlton State Farm Insurance Agency, online at carltoninsurance.net.
I'm Ryan Kelly with thehomeloanexpert.com. I've been the title sponsor of the Morning After for over a decade. And in these 10 years, I've learned a lot about shrubs and dotem, and of course, our fearless leader, Tim. I honestly can't think of anywhere else I'd rather be. Huge shout out and thank you to all the listeners. It's because of you that this is possible. Thank you for supporting the sponsors. If you ever need a home loan, I'm your guy. It all starts today at thehomeloanexpert.com. The Home Loan Expert LLC, NMLS number 1326241.
Butter me up, Daddy.
The Ryan Kelly Morning After.
KPNT FM HD2.
It's Ryan Kelly Morning After. This is the Appliance Discounters 8 o'clock hour as we broadcast from our Michelob Ultra Studios. If you're in the market for an appliance, look no further than Appliance Discounters and their 80,000 square foot warehouse full of GE appliances and other major brands ready for delivery. Shop online at theappliancediscounters.com, where pricing has been adjusted to beat everybody in the competition. Both Doug Vaughn and I are clients of the Appliance Discounters, and we recommend them wholeheartedly. I got a dishwasher from there. I know Doug said his entire kitchen is from the Appliance Discounters. Work with the great John Bradley, Denise Bradley. Go online at theappliancediscounters.com, and just like any other sponsor, if you'd like an introduction, email me. I'm soliciting emails today, Jackson. That's what I'm doing.
Good.
Tim McKernan at InsideSTL.com. And I'm soliciting erotic stories as well, and I have that
pulled up from, let's see what this gentleman's called. Oh, Cock Knobloch is the one who sent in the Sapphic email. All right, so I said I had some news and notes. What were my news? Oh, Fan Page Club Championship news and notes. Jay Randolph Jr. Fan Page Club Championship taking place 13 days from today. You're playing Jakey, Big Mistakey.
Can't wait.
We are paired together. Iggy and Plowhawk are paired together. Plowhawk, who are you playing?
I am playing Cisco.
Oh, Cisco.
Fantastic human being. Love playing with Cisco.
And so what Sean Barnes, who is the head professional at Gateway National, has requested, and I did post this on the TMA fan page, but I know that not everybody's going to see it, so I'm trying to get the message out as much as possible. Call Gateway tomorrow, starting at 11 a.m. You don't have to do it at 11, but beginning at 11 a.m. And for those of you, the 64 of you in the J. Randolph Jr. Fan Page Club Championship, what you will need to do is to pay, you just give your credit card information to Sean over the phone. This is what we did last year, and that takes care of your entry fees and also your greens fees, which includes range balls and your beer, or a beer, I believe, and lunch. And if I'm wrong on the beer thing, I apologize. Let me see what it takes care of here. There we go. $129 per player, breaks down as follows. $79 for greens fee, cart, and a small basket of range balls. $9 lunch ticket for a burger, brat, or hot dog combo, including tax. And then of that $129, $41 goes into the prize pool, which means the prize pool is $2,624. Wow. And should just all that go to the winner?
Yeah. I think
Really?
So. Second place should probably get their entry fee back. That's it.
Oh, God, I like that.
That's why I always, when I was a fantasy football commissioner for me and my friends, it was first place gets everything and second place gets their money back.
In fantasy football, I'm on board with that. In fantasy baseball, I feel like the bigger test is the year-long thing.
Yeah. Even
Fantasy football's got a lot of variance. I got to tell you, there wouldn't be many forfeits if you know you're playing for $2,500.
Yeah. 100%.
The issue, however, then if somebody's like this MFer is clearly a sandbagger.
It gets sweaty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Iggy, what do you think? I mean,
kind of fun, though.
What did we do last year? I think last year, if you made the quarterfinals, you got your money back.
You could forfeit your way halfway there.
Yeah, but I think it was fine. Quarterfinalists got their money back. Semifinalists got 100, I think, maybe 150.
On the surface, my initial reaction is it dilutes the prize pool, but it's not a gross. By gross, I mean gross score event. It's certainly a gross event, but a gross score event, and then therefore you invite. I mean, you incentive. I mean, you're talking about $2,500.
Yeah, that really changes.
That
the game.
yeah, I mean that then it incentivizes.
Well, they already got the handicaps in, so you can't get any sandbaggers coming in now. If they're already sandbaggers, they were in before we decided.
And it's 75% of the handicap, so it's not full.
So if I'm giving one stroke, I'm giving one stroke. Am I correct on that? Like,
it's 75% of the handicap, and Sean calculates it based on the handicap.
I'm fine giving a
the
pie.
listeners don't handicap. I think Sean actually does scorecards with the dots.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember that.
He did that last
I
year.
don't know. I got to tell you, I kind of like that.
Oh, I love that.
You like the idea of the 2,500?
Oh, I love that. Yeah,
Do you
might
really?
as well. I'm not going to win anyway, so you might as well make it.
You might.
But play out the hand in that it's one of the reasons why most net event tournaments in golf are not for a lot of money.
Right.
You start throwing on $2,500, and you're going to find some. we're gonna have some. All it takes is one, too.
Yeah, that's how it is in charity scrambles. If you're offering like winning team gets $200 a piece in the pro shop, I mean you're gonna have people. Okay, we got a bogey board taking an eagle.
I mean, Iggy's having a big show, and I think he also added a good point that, if we added that, hey, there's $2,500 for the winner before people signed up, then you're talking sandbagging scores.
Right, but now we already have the
scores in
indexes.
play.
You're right.
But I think moving forward, I don't know if we can do that next year, just because that's going to entice a lot of new people.
Right, but I mean, the field was already. I think we already had 57 of the 64 from the last year return. KG and O-Town, what do you think on the $2,500? Basically, all of the money goes to the winner.
Love it.
Wow, you didn't even hesitate.
Makes it like a Thunderdome at the end, man. That's gonna be what a match that.
I mean,
can
you if you're like, hey. I've played for some money. I've never had a $2,500 putt.
Neither have
I've maybe had a $300 or $400 putt, but I've never had a $2,500 putt.
holes are tight at that point. They
God,
have to be.
ooh, I got to tell you, I really like it. I wasn't even thinking that. I just was reading Sean's email, and then I thought about it, and I'm like, I know I wouldn't forfeit then. I don't give a damn who I'm playing.
Especially with 18 at Gateway, that's the approach shot. You're going to have people choosing, do I go for it and risk the water? Do I lay up and try to stay safe? I think
And
that'll
then do you
make it.
chunk that 60-yard pitch in and then have it trundle up and maybe fall into Iggy's fishing hole, as it's known?
I did that on Friday. I chunked on 18.
Well, if you're in the finals, you're probably splitting anyway.
Chop pot.
But chopping the pot?
Yeah.
Yeah, people want to chop the pot. Hey, man, I've been in plenty of poker tournaments where you get to the final table and there's just an agreement, that like there's 4 people left and you go, okay, whoever gets first place is going to get, 40%. Or when you're just tired and going, okay, how about this? First place is going to get 40%, and then so on and so on.
We can allow the player to choose that on their own, correct? If the final four.
That's up to
they
them.
wanna do that.
Can we please have KG and O-Town handle the money this year? Some things just need to be done the right way. That's from Mr. Licks.
Well, then you're going off on Sean Barnes.
Yeah, Sean was the one. Remember we handed the guy in the black shirt?
He was the one who did the money last year, and everybody got their money, so I don't know what you're talking about. There was envelopes in there, and if you...
Mr. Licks, I think you might be misguided on that one, because the people call in with their credit cards and give it to Sean Barnes.
Yeah, and the money's in there, and if you win your match, and some of those guys say, how do I get my money? Well, you played your match. Did you go into the clubhouse afterwards? No. Well, what do you think we're supposed to do? Just know you won and send it to you? No, you go in and pick it up.
Golf genius. This is live
We're
scoring.
talking about sloths with lint in their belly buttons that stole pizzas last year. Of course they'll sandbag for $2,500. That's from Herb's Hog.
That was the dope. That wasn't the Fan Page Club Championship where pizza was stolen.
That's correct.
Yeah. But I mean, if people are gonna if you're gonna sandbag and you can, like the old saying is, right? If you can put your head down at night.
God, I gotta tell you. I mean, listen. When you have that attached to you, and it's only for the people who actually play regularly. It's a thing.
Yeah,
it's a thing.
Scarlet letter.
And for those who play at a really high level in the St. Louis area, and you have the reputation, it's a thing. But I can't imagine. I mean, you have the Fan Page Club Championship with $2,500 on the line for the winner, and then the guy who finishes in. Now again, they'll chop it up.
Right.
But the only way to chop it up is if you get to the championship.
Yeah,
like
you
there's no chopping up in the. I guess if they wanted to do that, but if I were in the semifinals, I'm not going to go. Okay, I'll take, 600.
Right. Let's go.
There's a material difference between 2,500 and. God, I got to tell you, I kind of like this idea.
Yeah, I could do a lot of things with $2,500.
KG and O-Town, you vote yay.
I'm a yay.
Jackson, what do you vote?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm in.
Plowhawk, what do you vote?
100%. Yeah.
Iggy, what do you vote?
I don't care.
He's pissed about Gee.
Yeah, I mean, I'm out of the first round anyway. What do I care?
Not necessarily. You're getting a lot of pops.
Yeah, well,
a lot of poppy seeds.
Well, he's also hurt.
Gee, you're talking about your first round opponent.
Yeah,
the Michelob
he's got a
Ultra
bad
Fan
knee,
Page
so he can only play like 2 days in a row, and he's got to take time off, and it acts up. And Clea said, "I don't even know if we'd be able to go."
Which knee?
I don't know. One of them.
We're down left or right.
We're down to 2.
Because with one of them, maybe you can't turn on that heel.
Well, you
It's
said
gonna
it
be
hurts.
blocking everything off.
So yeah,
What
we'll
Bill
see.
Murray say
I don't
you
want to
do
win
to
like that. I said, I hope you're 100%. I don't want to win like that or lose like that.
There goes low stakes Strode. Be a man, Ken. That's from Arbor Day.
I'm not going to win, so why do I care where the money goes?
Arbor Day also says, here comes old Kenny Milkshake with his low stakes.
Well, I'd rather
Kenny
play the
Milkshake.
quarterfinals. If there's a chance I get to the quarterfinals, I get my money back.
Did you ever get your milkshakes from Doug?
I didn't know what Kenny Milkshakes meant.
I mean, those
Okay,
were-
I
He used to pet
understand.
milkshakes.
It was like
all the
5
Well, that was a
years
Frank
ago.
Cusimano thing. Okay. Well, then,
Yeah.
one milkshake.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was back when we were in the close to Oberweis.
Oh yeah, good milkshake.
Will third and fourth place be awarded free buffet vouchers to the Golden Corral on South Lindbergh? That's from Carlos Spicy Wiener.
I guess.
No, if you can get a trade deal.
Tim, if you really like the idea of all of the money going to the winner, you should say you're really against all of the money going to the winner, because then the Fan Page nerds will take that stance. That's from the 636. Why does Iggy care about getting money back when he didn't pay to get in? That's from the Hunchback of Von Castle.
Well, that's not true. We all pay to get in.
Yeah, we all pay our entry fee.
Well, we don't have to pay for golf, but that's just
I don't know, I
us.
felt like I paid for. I don't know. It doesn't
No, last year none of us
I
on the
thought
show
the
had
second
to pay.
round. Second round and going forward, I think I did. I don't know, whatever. It doesn't matter.
I've never made it out of the first
Well,
round.
I was done in the first round. But
This year, I feel like I'm going to make it out. This year, I feel better.
Wow, you're going after Jakey, big mistakey.
Less of an indictment on Jakey, and more how much more comfortable I am with my game this year. A lot more aware. If I have problems, I'm more aware of where they're coming from.
You shot an 83 with me and your father last Monday.
I shot 78.
And there was
on
only
Friday.
one really bad hole, and that was the very long and treacherous third golf hole.
Yeah, fire the hybrid just dead right into the woods. But I shot 78 on Friday.
You went left OB, or I guess it's lateral, but there's water over there left, and then your third shot after the penalty went right into the shrubs.
Yeah, just fired it. It was never for a second was it ever thinking it was going to stay in bounds. So that was bad. And I think I lost after I kind of conceded the hole and took the triple as my max. I think I just fired a 5-wood also out of bounds. So I got all my bad shots off on one hole because the rest was fine.
So at 75%, will Iggy only get 13 to 14 pops from Guy? That is from the 314.
Ooh, that changes the game.
I don't know.
That does change the game a little bit.
Guys, we're currently in pout across America mode. That's from Scissor Me Timbers.
What am I pouting
I don't
about?
think Iggy's pouting.
New initiative.
What am I pouting about?
You got to say, it is a tough draw, though. Like, I'd be with Iggy.
Yeah, that's a
like,
tough-
that's
Outside of Chris Heck, is there a more? I'm PGA Pro Dan. Is there a more, a first round draw you don't necessarily want, just based on skill?
I wouldn't mind I wouldn't mind Plowsy's draw. He's
Cisco?
playing somebody easy. That's got the same handicap as him.
Yeah, I don't think anything could be easy with me on a golf course.
No, but I mean, I'd rather.
Theoretically, nothing should be easy for either 64 players
Correct.
if it's a net event that's properly handicapped.
Yeah.
Right.
But I mean, I'd rather play an 18 than a
I think
scratch.
I'm with you. I'd rather give a stroke to Cisco than get 13 from Guy, who could potentially shoot,
With 13,
2 under.
13 or 14 strokes, there's opportunities galore out there at Gateway for you to take advantage of the pops.
If I play well.
Well, you said you were driving the ball incredibly. Then that makes the game a whole lot easier.
Not happy with his short game.
Well, I also
Jackson.
said my short game sucks. So
How come Iggy barks and says he can beat anyone in the audience in a net match, yet has zero confidence in a net tournament? Be an athlete! That's from the Horny Banker.
well, I can beat the people that are spouting off because I know their golf game.
White pants. You're going to go white pants.
No.
Yeah, probably.
It's a signature move. He went canary yellow, and we won the par 3
In
thing
shorts,
or whatever
I
the
saw.
hell we did. Finished second, I guess.
Shorts.
Mark Milton will immediately text me. Hey, guys, is Will Gons in the tournament this year? I hear he's playing well. It's a big, tough Plowhawk. That's.
I didn't see Will's name.
I haven't seen Will gone in a minute.
You having a treat, bro?
You got
Yeah,
Pringles
Pringles.
over there.
Hell of a
really?
player. Yeah, scorching
I'll have to
hot.
come and fill this out this week, too.
Yeah, here's the screenshot of the whole thing. So anyway, the reason I brought it up, even though it stumbled into conversation, I think I can just text it to you, is to call Sean and the Pro Shop at Gateway National tomorrow, and you can get here. Hopefully this will just go right to your phone now, and you can pay for your you need to pay for your entry fee, and that'll pay for your greens fee. It's $129. I think that includes your tax. And let me see if I still have the thread up. The number, even though, of course, this is available, is 618-482-4653, extension 1. 618-482-4653, extension 1, beginning at 11 a.m. tomorrow.
That's about golf.
Look at that.
Seems like it's live.
I think it spells golf.
Look at that picture of me and Cletus. I really wish talk about ones you could have back.
Which one would you rather have back, the yellow diaper or Cletus
Yellow-
topping you?
Yellow diaper. 'Cause
Yeah,
I
that
feel like
cumber-
that's a rite of passage, but also just
I took that
unfortunate.
picture.
Yeah,
That
and I didn't.
cummerbund.
I kept saying
hurt.
I don't want to do this, and he was like, No, it's gonna be funny.
That's what you said about the diaper thing, too, and you did that as well.
Yeah, it seems like this is a me problem.
Yeah, once you
I
get
agree.
Stand up for myself.
Right,
all the
I
time.
couldn't agree more. If only this was a fashion show instead of a golf tournament, Ken. That's from the 618.
Ooh yeah, you will be the best dressed out there. I can guarantee that.
I usually am.
If you don't say so yourself.
Look where I'm going against. I mean, you and Tim can dress. Plowsy, I gave you all kinds of clothes. You never wear them.
They're probably not going to fit him. My clothes wouldn't fit him.
Well, I mean, shirts.
You have youth XLs in the
tuck 'em in.
closet.
Mr. 63011 has just sent him a screenshot of looking up Iggy on the Gin app, and he says he's still not in there.
Spelled his name just totally wrong.
They did.
Yeah,
I have to say, Mr. 6011, you misspelled his name.
Yeah, that's probably why.
Are you in there now? You reactivated it.
Yeah, I did.
So then, Sean, will quantify. Turvis Parish says you'll be getting 14.25, which means you'll be getting 14 pops.
Still a lot.
Turvis Parish has already given the math.
Still a lot. You're probably only missing out on like a par 3 or 2.
Probably all the par 3s.
No, there's some of those par 3s are probably higher than that. If you can get a stroke on a par 3.
Usually all the par 3s are the low.
Iggy is back. Iggy is back in.
Have you entered a score since you got back in?
I haven't played since I got back in.
The last score posted was 100 in October of 2022, and I can't see where it was, but I just see it was 100.
Even hundo.
It was probably Norwood. I think that's the last time I played.
No. Boy, 3 of your last 4 scores were in the hundreds.
Yeah, Norwood, Belle Reeve.
Yeah, that'll do it to you. What are you gonna do?
Not Westboro.
The Illsider says, Guy, didn't you play the Illsider?
Yeah, you did, didn't you?
Guys, why does the old bat brag about his expensive wardrobe, yet bitches about his pay? That's from the Illsider.
Well, maybe you'll figure it out eventually.
Cryptic.
That was
Well, it's not too difficult.
Cryptic.
Mark Milton just texted me. That's why I made sure to correct who won the par 3 contest, because I knew it was coming. And he says, does the winner get a jacket this year? If so, I'm a 48 long, and my left arm is just a little longer than my right. That is from Mark Milton.
You think we're going to custom job for it?
Wow, this guy feels very confident.
Whatever's in Doug's closet that he's not using anymore.
Yeah, we'll give you
that's
whatever
the jacket.
Doug has laying around.
So
in there.
Chris Heck gets to keep that? I thought it'd be like the Masters where we keep it in the
Yeah,
championship locker room.
The champions locker room.
Yeah.
Driving the ball 300 yards is cool and probably not really effective, honestly, from the white tees, and impresses your buddies, but scoring amounts to getting the ball in the hole. How many times have you hit a great drive only to miss the green, skull a chip, and 3-putt your way to double bogey? While tour players get up and down 2/3 of the time, scratch golfers still only get up and down around half the time. Thus, the best way to lower your scores is to improve your short game, and that's why tour players like world #1 John Rahm, the Masters champion, and Max Homa have installed celebrity greens in their backyards. Anyone can put down fake turf and call it a putting green, but if you want a golf green that putts true and gives you real grass performance when practicing chips, pitches, and bunker shots, the only company to call is Clubhouse Turf, St. Louis's exclusive partner of Celebrity Greens. Each Clubhouse Turf signature green is unique in design. Whether creating a replica hole like the 12th at Augusta or the 2nd at Belle Reve, Clubhouse Turf can create your own backyard golf experience that your family and friends will enjoy for years to come. Call Clubhouse Turf, St. Louis's exclusive partner of Celebrity Greens, Golf Digest Best in Golf, and start improving your game today. Call 314-834-2339. That's 314-834-2339. Let them know TMA sent you, and you can check it out for yourself at clubhouseturf.com. And Iggy, after you're done working on your short game in your backyard, you get out that Brush Creek, Jack. Get out that Brush Creek Valley Forms.
Well, spring is here. A little bit chilly toward the later part of the week, but still, I mean, you can still grill when it's 60. It's not summer yet, but it's grilling season. Bush Creek Valley Farms TMA box has a new look. Now we have 5 pounds of ground beef, so you can make plenty of burgers, 2 ham steaks, 2 sirloins, 8 brats, and 2 pork chops, so a variety of all kinds of meat. And, of course, each piece of meat doesn't contain any added hormones. I always say hormones. Hormones or antibiotics to ensure our listeners receive the highest quality cuts of meat straight to their door. So go to brushcreekvalley.com, search TMA at the top of the homepage, and you'll be directed to the TMA meat box. Apply the code TMA10 for 10% off at checkout. And also, they offer a subscription option for those wanting great-tasting meats delivered every month. You can change it up every month. Okay, this month I want a few T-bones in there. But you can do your own meat box. And the TMA code can be applied to the subscriptions as well. Just type in TMA10 on your checkout.
Nice.
And that's the 10. That's brushcreekvalley.com. Use the code TMA10 at checkout for all box and subscription orders. Brush Creek Valley Farms. High-quality meats for a low-brow audience. I know you all want to watch Doug cooking his shorts. You'll have to ask him personally because that is not included in the TMA box.
There it is. Brush Creek, wonderful sponsor of the program. Miggy, you've talked about using Andrea's on your Brush Creek, and that is a perfect mix. My family absolutely loves it. I know so many of the listeners have gotten to that barbecue sauce as well. It's Andrea's, and also that steak sauce from Andrea's. So good, of course, the Steakhouse. Everything is available for you at Andreas.com. If you want the barbecue sauce or the steak sauce, you can find it at Schnucks or Dierberg's as well. Andreas.com. Check out that steakhouse. And coming up on May 6th, a huge Kentucky Derby party at Andreas. So enjoy the festivities with the great Max and Rebecca over there at Andreas. And if you haven't tried that barbecue sauce yet, holy moly, cockatoli. Send your emails in, the Design, Air, Heating, and Cooling email today, the morning after, at InsideSTL.com, the morning after at InsideSTL.com. Current April standings for the Design, Air, Heating, and Cooling email today. Buck Swope is the winner from March, but he's not leading in April. The JV golf coach is your leader. Dragon Slayer is in second. JV golf coach with 4 wins. Dragon Slayer with 3. Buck Swope with 1. Gunter with 1. And here at the Sharkle House with 1. So there is your standing for update for the Design, Air, Heating, and Cooling email of the month. All right, let's see what I got here. What was I deep teasing and I haven't tended to yet? Oh, the doggies. All right, so Saturday, I'm anxious to hear what your guys' perspective is on this. KG in O-Town is as well. On Saturday, I'm driving home. Had just picked up Carl's, as a matter of fact. Was with one of my sons. And I'm driving westbound. On Manchester, facing so at the Lindbergh intersection, and there's it kind of dips down there, where the waterway
Playing
this
against
is.
sports right there.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So I have a clear view of the western sky. And I'm a lifelong St. Louisan, minus 8 months in Little Rock, Arkansas, and my tenure in Columbia, Missouri, which still has 8 credit hours remaining. And I texted, voice texted my wife, and I said, "Hey, we're on our way home. Are there tornado warnings? Because I have not seen the sky look like this in my life." Now, it's not to say that it hasn't been worse, but I just hadn't been out driving when it was like this. And I don't know. I've never seen a funnel cloud. At least I don't believe I've seen a funnel cloud. But it looked like, and then I was later watching the weather coverage because it was coming through Kirkwood.
Yeah.
So I actually was watching it. Our internet went out, but I just started watching on my phone on YouTube TV and saw Steve Templeton talking about some clouds. I guess when there are tornadoes, like for lack of a better term, I might be using this. I'll just say the clouds will lower. That's
like a wall cloud kind of thing.
Well, that's different, but the clouds start to lower, and then and it looked like cones, 2 cones, one off to the south of Manchester, and then one that was smaller north of Manchester, probably in the 270-40 range. And my wife said that the tornado sirens hadn't gone off, but she had gotten a warning notification on her phone. And we got home and started watching the news, and I'm like, oh man, we really do actually have to get downstairs because it was heading into our jurisdiction. And so I don't know if I saw funnel clouds. I have no idea, but I was reading the article in the St. Louis Post-Dispatch this morning on STLtoday.com, and they show where tornadoes came through, and tornadoes did come through in the Kirkwood area. So I have no idea what I saw. I don't know if funnel clouds are spinning, and you can clearly see they're just not touching down, or this just happened to look like what could be a tornado. Beats the hell out of me. But I've never seen anything like what I saw on Saturday night as far as the threatening skies.
Oh, man, yeah, it was bad. I was watching the news coverage because I'm a little south, and so I was concerned about where I was. And I saw it was coming through Kirkwood. I was like, well, I mean, that's still a little south of me, but it's certainly in play. And then like 10 minutes later, it already moved into Illinois. But yeah, it was like the wind was crazy. I hadn't seen wind like that in a
long time. And
So you could see it. See, we were in the basement, so I don't see a damn thing.
Yeah, I never got to a point where I got into like a tub or like my little safe area, but I.
What is your safe area?
So I have a little staircase in between my little side door and my apartment, and in there's no windows, and it's like in the center of the house, so that's where I would go. There's a basement, but there's windows in there, so that's where I would have gone, but for the most part, the other side of the street for me lost power, but my side of the street didn't. I felt very fortunate in that sense.
Yeah, we didn't lose power.
Because there was Knicks and Cavs action I needed to watch.
Mine went off for like 1 second.
Really?
Flickered, but
Yeah.
then I had to reset everything. 1 second, you got to reset all the clocks, got to reset the computer. But yeah, I went outside and just kind of watched it for a while.
I saw pictures where there was it was bigger than like a smaller Funnel Cloud. It was huge.
Oh, is that right?
Huge.
Is that available somewhere?
There's some sick
I
city
think Andy
drones.
You think that was photoshopped? I know what you're talking about. That one that's got the
Where is
arch
it? Where-
way down in
where
the
is it?
background.
I didn't see that. I was talking about.
It's all over Facebook. People are posting it. It looked like, because everybody was posting it, so it looked like it could have been a Photoshop picture. I mean, like Armageddon, and you see the arch in the background.
They said that there was rotation starting in Eureka and then moved south through Kirkwood.
I might have saved it on
through
my phone,
Soulard
actually.
area
Yeah, let's
all the
see.
way to Sauget.
Dogtown Tie says they confirmed one touched down for about a minute right where you were talking about, Tim. Had video of it on the news yesterday. Holy crap.
Boy.
Yeah, there it is right there.
Let me see.
Oh, God.
Wow.
Holy
there.
hell.
Yeah, I think it's legit because there's a couple different outlets.
Is that the one with the arch in the background?
Yeah.
That's an unbelievable.
You think that's
Wild
real?
as
You don't think
hell,
that's
man.
like
That's why I thought it
It
was.
doesn't look to me at all.
Looks real to me. Holy hell, that is
It's
crazy.
crazy, man. It's so crazy.
Yeah, it was getting bad there for a while, and it was supposed to come down all day, and it was beautiful for the most part of Saturday.
Yeah, I went to the baseball game, but then I left before the game even started. I said, this is going to be crazy. And I got home right when it started pouring.
Right.
Then it just cleared up. It was sunny.
Yeah, it was like
Yeah,
I
I mean,
was
the
like
baseball
upset I
game
didn't
went
golf.
through with no problem. It wasn't until right before the Dogs game, actually.
Yeah, it was like 6 o'clock was when stuff started starting, and then 7:30 through 8 was the worst of it. Oh, it was scary. Yeah, that picture right there, Plow. If that's a real
it looks
photo, that's
legit. I mean, everybody.
terrible. But that's south of the arch, so that would be right in that.
Iggy, that arch picture cannot compare to your office sunrise photos. Thanks. That's from Midge or Matt.
Is that where the diamond directed
Yeah,
the
we got
fire
the diamonds
hydrant
directing.
was,
And one of my favorite pictures
Smudges on the glass.
is Jackson looking out the window,
Yeah, my
pondering his
bald
future.
spot.
Yeah.
Super prominent.
Guys, they confirmed touchdown at 141 and 44 in Valley Park as well.
That's-
That's from Ken's Wedding Toast.
That's where I saw the picture of what looked kind of like what Plowek was showing, just from a different angle, where it was like this. It looked like one cloud that took up the entire sky, and at the bottom of it was like this funnel.
Really?
And it's just terrifying. And if you're driving on the highway like
yeah,
that,
I mean, I was driving on,
Oh.
like I said, westbound on Manchester, coming back from Carl's, 6:15, I think, ish, on Saturday night. And I'm like, okay, is this dangerous at this moment? And then I also want to make sure my wife and our other son were, paying attention and safe
sure.
because I hadn't seen anything like it. So Mr. Licks wants somebody to send him a picture. What does that mean? Can you send me that?
A storm picture.
Look it up
Is
your
that
own
what it
damn
is?
self.
I think Beer Cats had rotation or something in a pic. It's on the pin. Crazy, crazy stuff. Glad you all are okay. That's from March 2023. Milagro Tequila Listener of the Month. Brian Henshin talking about January 2023 Listener of the Month. They must have like a group text with Maddie Nate.
Pat,
All the-
can you
Listener of the
add me
Month.
to that? I'd love to be involved in that. Yeah, I think I saw. Maybe I think it was from your first round Fan Page Club Championship opponent Andy Hanselman, where I saw a photo. Of
And this
that.
is on the TMA fan page?
I believe so. That's a believe
Oh,
where I saw
I got to take a gander.
Yeah,
And
it was
Was it Beer Cats or Andy Hansman? Or both of
Maybe
them?
both. I mean, it was anytime that there's weather in St. Louis, the place to be is the fan page.
Well, everybody was taking that one picture and posting it, so.
Maybe. I don't know. I looked like a.
Are you back on the fan page?
Homemade shot.
No. I don't know what's on the fan page, but I just saw on Facebook, I saw that picture posted by like 10 different people.
Another reason I live in the 63124, tornadoes physically cannot go through the central corridor. They're always south or north. Also, I have a needlepoint cummerbund. Is that weird? That's from
Yes.
Mr. Led.
Needlepoint anything is weird.
Oh.
I'm anti-needlepoint, and I want that to be known. I lived in the Central Corridor for years, and we never had tornadoes.
Is
so
that
I
right?
I guess that holds water.
KJ in O-Town from the Horton Watkins studio just sent in a screenshot of, I guess, the
Yeah,
picture
that's
of-
what I saw. That's what Andy. Yeah, that's what I saw.
Holy moly.
Yeah, that is
Yeah. So it looks like there's a little rotation there in the foreground. Scary stuff. Yeah, it is. And it was coming south, and if you lose power, then you have no idea what's going on, and hate that. But that's spring in St. Louis.
The biggest issue with big weather is the Chicken Little phenomenon that is created by the fact that they've made every single weather event into a DEFCON 1 emergency. So when you get events that actually are dangerous, people are less likely to pay attention anymore. That is from Arbor Day. Well, with this one, I knew it was supposed to rain, and it had rained earlier in the day. It rained big time. I was playing in an event on Saturday morning. The event got called about 4 or 5 holes in. I went home thinking we were done, and then I got a call back that we were restarting, and then wound up playing. It was perfect weather.
Yeah.
All the way up until about 5:30. You could see on into the west that some rough weather was coming, and then within an hour it was all hell breaking loose. The one that we were talking about on the show maybe 2 or 3 Fridays ago was treated like a snowstorm coming in.
Right.
And Iggy, if I'm not mistaken, you said it will not be a big storm. But in that particular case, in my experience, once again, lifelong St. Louisan, I don't recall thunderstorms being built up like snowstorms.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't know if people were less likely to pay attention Saturday, because honestly, I didn't know that there was supposed to be a huge storm on Saturday night, but I'm not really watching local or much of any news anymore anyway, so I don't know.
Right. Well, when you see in the forecast that, like, it's really warm, like on Friday and then early Saturday, and then you see Sunday it's going to get really cold, and then there's chance of, like, storms on Saturday, that's the perfect recipe for a tornado. That's when the cold and the warm fronts meet. So the weather channels, anytime where situations like that, they're obligated almost to be like, we have to take this somewhat seriously. I'd rather than take it too seriously and it be not bad than the other way around.
Well, I would if it's sincere. I wouldn't if they're doing it to save a diving
Right.
industry. It said all week on the weather app that it was going to storm. You all are as aloof as Grandpa. That's from the 636, Jackson. That's the guy I tell you about who follows us around for 3 hours here and then down to 101 and hate texts all day. Switched from HD2 to the live app when I got to work, and the breathing while Tim is talking is unbelievably loud. Update. Breathing is also unbelievably loud when Jackson is speaking. That's from the 314. This guy wants to go. This guy wants to go.
Wants to drop the gloves.
Could it be me?
Do you think you're a possible heavy breather? Maybe it's KG and O-Town playing something from the Horton Watkins studio.
I'd be surprised.
Ambient noise, like the bird chirping of the Augusta. That's what we have.
Guys, did Stingray give advanced warning of the storm? That's from Mitch. Are you getting turned on by this Cumstein?
No, only if it was in, like, Biloxi, Mississippi with Heath.
Is he doing weather forecasts?
He sometimes does it for Mississippi, and it somehow ends up on the fan page.
Yeah, Stingray loves weather.
Like, we need that update from Mississippi. I love Stingray.
Well, he posts on the fan page because I think it's where he's got most of his followers.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
What's that, Cousin Eddie or Uncle Eddie or something like that?
Cousin. Is that the one that says
Cousin Eddie's Randy?
Yeah, I haven't heard from him in a while. But yeah, he posted his. Hey guys, coming up tonight, I'm going to talk to Pinkle. Any questions for him?
Yeah,
he puts it on the fan page.
636-9004-TMA. KG No 10. I see you were texting me people who are calling in. I didn't have
No
my
one's
phone
on the
out.
line now.
But now I will be able to bring them on because I will be paying. Here, I'll set my phone up right here, nurse, right there. 636-9004-TMA. You are welcome to text into the EDF group text inbox 314-881-TMA5. And, of course, email in for our Design Air Heating and Cooling email today, the morning after at InsideSTL.com. Ryan Kelly, longtime title sponsor of this program. He is online at thehomeloanexpert.com. That's Ryan Kelly, thehomeloanexpert.com. Credit card interest rates are higher than ever before in the last 3 decades. They're that high. It's unbelievable to think about how high these are. So refinance now with thehomeloanexpert.com if you are deep in debt, and get it taken care of and get control of your finances. It's thehomeloanexpert.com. With inflation here, people are taking on more debt than ever. If you're a homeowner, leverage your equity because home values are still super high, and put that equity in your home to work for you with a simple cash-out refi. It's all done at thehomeloanexpert.com. I've refinanced with them, and I've been pre-approved with them. And the staff at Ryan Kelly's Home Loan Expert is outstanding. It's Ryan Kelly, thehomeloanexpert.com. Ryan Kelly, thehomeloanexpert.com. TMA.com. All right, I deep teased this as well, and you guys were telling me Chris Kerber, voice of the Blues, was very active on the Twitter tweets during the storm with regards to the doggies.
Yes.
And then also, running parallel with the doggies, KMOV, and it couldn't have been Doug, because Doug's vacationing in the Mediterranean, tweeted out, is that what happened? That the dogs win after they beat the hell out of Cincinnati.
Yeah, boy.
And all hell broke loose on the tweet or on the Facebook post because they were called the dogs. And then KMOV went back and changed it to
City SC.
City SC.
Yeah, so I woke up this morning and saw all of this. I guess it was posted on the fan page, but yeah. So the original post said like the dogs win 5-0, and I can only imagine that the
5-1 your final, a late goal there by Cincinnati.
Right, 5-1. And I can just imagine that people, because this is KMOV's Facebook group. There's probably a ton of people on there.
So that's
99% don't listen to TMA, and they saw the dogs on there, and just I guess all hell broke loose. And I think it's pretty damn funny. I think that's outstanding. And whoever is in charge or posted that, God bless. It's not like we're like recruiting people to carry the water and do that, but that's pretty funny.
Well, here's what I think. Here's your timeline. And this will be good for the soccer people who hate our show because of the dogs thing, or just hate our show because of its mere existence. It was brought up that we're getting an MLS team on the program after that was announced, and Doug was wondering what the name would be. And I'm paraphrasing what actually wound up taking place, and said, I don't like these Reals, FCs, Uniteds,
Sportings, yeah.
United. So why can't it just be something like the Dogs? So it was an innocent throwaway line. Then Gangster Pete creates the St. Louis Dogs hats. And then I think I just heard the breathing. I did. I really did.
I'm nowhere near the microphone.
Get swooped to play it back. I heard something. So then we have the hoodies. Those things start popping up. And then I think when the team starts playing, a portion of the audience is calling them the Dogs, not trying to stir the pot. Okay?
Right.
But then some of the soccer people were like, where is this Dogs thing coming from? And they're going, oh, that's this TMA audience.
Right.
And then it escalated when the passionate soccer people who were irritated by it and didn't like the name the Dogs, maybe thinking it had to do with a corporate tie-in because of Purina, even though it didn't, because Doug said Dogs before Purina was even involved.
Big time, yeah.
Then a portion, and I don't know what percentage of our audience, it's certainly single digits. Now, if you're on the fan page, you think that it's magnified, but I'm just telling you that a percentage of the audience then now goes back and forth with a percentage of the soccer fans, which may seem like a much higher percentage than it is because these are the people in their respective social media bubbles. Now, as it turns out, and this was the part that I was unaware of, there is a bit of a contention amongst the building in city.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And that's why the Ravioli Boys thing is to counter the Dogs thing, because they don't necessarily, this portion of the building doesn't like the Dogs thing because it's not theirs. And so there's now apparently Ravioli Boys merchandise being sold. So it's actually, in a flattering way, a response to what was a throwaway line on this stupid-ass show by Doug, which wasn't. Can you imagine me and Doug going, hey, I know it's Saturday, but we need to get on the phone. We need to try and get away from more attention for the show.
That would be Bizarro World.
So do you think there's a chance?
So it was a throwaway line. I thought the Ravioli Boys thing was an April Fool's thing.
It's that bad. It should be.
Well, I think it originally became that.
Now, my official position is I couldn't care any less about it, and I love watching them play soccer. And those guys who probably hate our show are a huge part of the reason why the atmosphere is great. I assume, anyway. Like, if you're a member of the St. Louligans or a supporter group that hates the Dogs thing, you you're in there and you're playing a large role in the atmosphere. And that atmosphere is so incredible. It's why, I couldn't watch it because I know there was an Apple TV issue, plus our wireless was down from the storm on Saturday night. And I'm up at, 4:45, 5 in the morning yesterday morning. Just I got up then. And I watched the whole thing. I didn't watch the highlight. I watched the whole damn thing. And I love it. And the atmosphere was still good, even though obviously plenty of people weren't there because of the storm.
Yeah, the atmosphere was still incredible. That's so great to see.
So anyway, there is a timeline for those of you who would like to know what is going on with the Dogs/Ravioli Boys thing.
That is great, though. KMOV, the Dogs have reclaimed the #1 spot in the MLS Western Conference.
And then they had to go back and change it because they caught so much hell.
Yeah, I'm looking at the comments now.
Doug has been in the market for 35 years, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, that's what the math would be. 35-ish years, 36 maybe. And this is going to be one of his greatest legacy projects, and it was a completely off-handed joke.
Right.
About calling the team the Dogs, and it's to a point now that I think it's almost like politics. You don't necessarily agree with the person or the policy so much as you just hate the other one more, and so therefore you line up on the other side. So in other words, if you really don't like Soccer Guy, you're going, I'm just adopting Dogs because Soccer Guy's really upset about the Dogs thing.
Right.
Or if you really don't like this show, me, Iggy, Doug, then you go, oh, I'm going to line up on the side of the Ravioli Boys because I don't like those guys.
Right.
So that's how this whole thing has turned into something that I can still picture where we were. We were at the KFNS studios in Kirkwood when he said it, and I'm going, it was a joke. And by definition, it was organic.
Yeah.
And I guess one of the theories is that we're doing it to try to sell merchandise. I could not... You hear how often I talk about the merchandise on the show?
Right.
Couldn't care any less. I lose more golfing than I do make on merchandise. I promise you that. It is immaterial to my life. It was Doug just throwing it out there as a joke. And now it's so, quote, controversial that the CBS affiliate in St. Louis catches so much hell that they actually have to change a headline.
Yeah.
And for that, Doug Vaughn, while he sails along in the Mediterranean, should be very proud.
Yeah, legendary stuff. And also, that's how names like these soccer teams are made. It's got to be organic, and that the Dogs is perfectly organic, and it has audio attached to it where you can literally find out the moment that it was called the Dogs.
Yes.
So it's to me, it's perfect, whereas Ravioli Boys, to me, seems a little bit forced. You can have your opinion on the name one way or the other, but Dogs is just an organic name, and it's not a pure thing that happened afterwards. That was just, to me, further validation that the name works. And, I think it is incredible that Doug has done so much in this town, and he'll be remembered for naming
the soccer team Dogs.
Incredible.
Guys, do you have the segment he came up with the Dogs and the best of tree/skeleton? That's from Maxwell Hung.
That's the new task for this week, is we'll get that.
Yeah,
we can
I'm
do
not
that.
sure when that
was. It was from
2020.
KFNS.
2020, I'm almost positive, because I remember listening. I associate times in my life with TMA segments and where I am. I remember I was in Columbia on Cherry Street listening. Iggy wanted them to be called Metro for the band Metro, I think.
Oh, yeah.
And Doug was like, how about just something simple like the Dogs? And I was like, this Doug Vaughn, this is why he's the best.
Somebody has sent in a screenshot of one of the supporter group heads, I guess, saying KMOV, please petition to take away KMOV's press credentials.
The whole station?
Guys,
what was that, Plowhawk?
These soccer guys, they're the worst. They're ruining it for everybody. It's so sad.
With a Pringle in mouth.
No other fan base. And what funny was, I was actually at brunch yesterday.
Ooh, bougie.
Yeah, we went to Hammerstones. It was great. But we went with a couple we don't really hang out with. It's more so Madison friend, and I kind of know the boyfriend. He's a big soccer guy.
Mm-hmm.
And he brought up the nickname. He knows I work on radio, but does not listen, has no idea.
Well, we've been hard to find over the years.
So I told him.
We bounce around at undesired stations and slots.
His passion, and hatred for the Dog's nickname. Now, I didn't go...
Oh, he hated it?
And he didn't realize that you were
Didn't
on the
realize,
show.
and I didn't want to get involved. That's just not really an argument or a conversation I'm wanting to have at 9:30 in the morning when I'm finishing up my boozy
Over
coffee.
some mimosas, yeah.
So I just let it be, but then I realized just how passionate they really are about this nickname. And
the hatred, being pro Ravioli Boys or being anti-Dogs?
He liked Hellcats. Because I asked
I haven't even been
That's
thinking about
better
it.
than
Okay,
ravioli.
Because I asked him, I'm like, you can't be serious though with the Ravioli Boys, right? And he goes, no, they both suck. And I'm like, okay, at least we can find common ground there.
I think I tweeted that out to Berlin and Terry Nunn when I said we should call it Metro and then we could play.
Berlin, the city? Is that a
That's the
band?
name of the band, Berlin. I said we could play Berlin's Metro, and that could be the name of the team. And I think Terry Nunn actually responded by saying that'd be great.
And Terry Nunn's the lead singer of this band?
Yeah. Didn't get much traction though.
You can text in 314-881-TMA5. Email in Design Air Heating and Cooling email of the day, the morning after at InsideSTL.com. Or call in if you would like. I have my phone in front of me, so in case you know town, text me that we have somebody on hold. I will be able to go to it, 636-9004-TMA. So I wanted to tell the story because this now has taken on a life larger. I don't want to even say that we ever intended because we didn't really
care.
Right. and don't. But I will say it is flattering that the dislike for the show is so strong that there is an effort to counter it, even though the show just did it, and Doug really just did it not as a plan, which would have been so hack, but just as an offhanded comment,
right.
Because he didn't like Reals and FCs and Uniteds and so on.
Right. He just wanted a simple name. And he's right. There is no team in the North American pro sports that is simply dogs.
Dogs. Yeah. There are types of dogs.
Sure. And there's we go with the Browns, obviously the dog pound, but just straight dogs. There's 800 tigers. To be fair, there's
a lot in the SEC alone.
Yeah, there's wildcats, not necessarily cats, but there's wildcats. But there is no one, not even in college sports, I don't think, because there's the UMBC Golden Retrievers, but this just straight dogs.
Now the Georgia Bulldogs, of course, have established a presence in college football, but it's Bulldogs.
Yeah, it's
but to say it's so egregious and forced, STL City before the dogs thing and Ravioli Boys were going head to head, they were given a pup of the week. After every game they give a pet of the week. It's already kind of...
They got Purina across the chest.
They have everything in place for a dog to kind of be a natural transition. Ravioli Boys is the stupidest thing ever. We didn't invent ravioli. They're toasted raviolis. And so, the ravioli boy thing is just a farce.
And toasted is that's a very generous word when it's most certainly deep fried.
Yeah, deep fried batter. Come on.
I got to tell you, it's a wonderful treat.
It's great. I love it.
I'd like to recommend Zia's. It's kind of a sneaker play for toast ravioli.
So
back in the day when Kemel's was open. Oh, my goodness. I feel like there's another one that people always talk about. Trattoria Marcella.
That's the one. Oh, my.
Yeah.
The different sizes, so you know they're fresh.
And then...
Mama's on the Hill is where a lot of people...
I got another one. I can't think of it off the top of my
Antonino's.
head. That's the one that we always... I haven't been there, but I've had people rave about that one.
Yeah.
Let's see. What was I... the Kerber thing. So, I wasn't aware of this until this was brought to my attention that he was tweeting during the storm. I guess he was at the Dogs game?
Yeah.
Okay. And then this led to a concerted social media consternation, for lack of a better term, of the way that the storm situation was handled at City Park. Is that correct, Jackson? So what's going on?
What I am deducing, yeah, he just tweeted, hey, at STL City SC and MLS, this was at...
Little help here. How about some communication?
Yeah, this was at 8:20 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
So about
Is that
an hour.
my phone? I apologize if it is.
About an hour after original kickoff time was starting, and I guess they were just having. If I had to, I wasn't there, and I don't know every inch of the story, but I'd imagine that people were confused on if they should go in and shelter or if they should find shelter somewhere else. Meanwhile, all hell was breaking loose around them, so it's a very difficult situation to navigate for sure for both fans or patrons going to the game and for STL City SC staff.
Got it.
Because that's my interpretation of it.
So people went into areas to try to be safe, but what I guess Kerber's saying, so then he tweets out, huge shout out to Cybergs, been a great spot to bunker down and wait it out. Todd Reesing just texted in with stories from the game. There were little kids standing outside up against the building while it was hailing. That's from Todd Reesing. So what the contention was, there were places to go that were safe, and that the communication from the organization was not there
Right.
while this is going on.
Right. That's what I've deduced from what I've seen on social media. Yeah, is that there's just a lack of communication from some, or some perceived it as a lack of communication.
The Veiled Prophet says 99% of these douche canoes didn't have push notifications from the Dogs app. People that did got alerts. I was fine, as were others in our group. That's from the Veiled Prophet.
Yeah, you can't just assume, though, that
Prophet.
everyone's going to have push notifications from the STL City SC app. You know, people go to the game. They don't necessarily need to think they need to have the app to have the best experience.
And I'm confused in terms of the complaints are with. It's weather, you know. It's not like they knew the exact time it was going to hit, how much rain and wind.
People were already there.
Right.
So that was the issue. People were already there. It wasn't like a 2 o'clock situation.
Busch Stadium runs into this all the time. Is do we cancel it before it even hits the fan? And sometimes it's a good idea. Sometimes it's a light drizzle, and you go, well, now we have a makeup day, and we could easily play the game. It's a tough. I would hate to be in that position, being the man or woman to call games or and determine what the delay is going to be.
Are they saying that the public address announcer wasn't getting information like, all right, folks, we have everybody, we're going to move here. This is where is that what they're saying, that nobody was communicating over the speakers of the stadium to tell people what to do?
This coming in, it says, at the game, when the shelter-in-place happened, the Dogs locked the gates so nobody else could get in. People were at the gate trying to get in. That's from Coxie.
Oh, that changes everything.
That's
a different story. That's tough. It was what brutal.
We were
timing.
told to go into the restrooms. Gentlemen were bothered that beer sales had stopped. And somebody sent in a picture of having to go into a women's restroom. I don't know. But so it was surprising to me that, Chris Kerber was vocal about it, but clearly he was concerned as he was there. I was not there.
Right.
But I saw, and listen, I wouldn't be on the radio going, well, there was concern on social media, because that goes against everything that I believe in, and just citing arbitrary tweets.
Right.
But when I can cite the voice of the blues, who's been in the market for 20 years, and he doesn't just call blues games, he also does other shows. And then I do know that other people were discussing how the lack of communication is the thing that I, saw.
Yeah.
And that's what Kerber's talking to. So then that way I can put a primary source with recognizable name and credibility in the market on it, who is actually there.
Right. Yeah, and it's brutal timing for City, because the storm kind of starts around 6:30ish, and that's when people are getting there and starting it up, and then it really starts coming down right around game time, and then you have lightning in the area for upwards of like an hour and change afterwards. So probably just brutal timing for them, but also for fans who are coming to the game, they don't give a damn. They got to figure something out. They got to either go home or find somewhere to shelter, because of it hailing and winds. You got to get inside.
The MLS policy is that they can't let people in during lightning or potential 60-mile-an-hour winds or above. I think the Dogs' hands were tied. Cal May protege, that comes from Ken's Wedding Toast. Cal May protege says, I was at the game, tons of communication for those inside, but they stopped letting people inside after the tornado warning. That's from the Cal May protege.
Boy, yeah. So it's a tough spot, because they can't just be on explain to everybody what the policy is immediately. Then that's where probably the STL City SC app probably would come in handy, I assume.
Yeah, and I think people just understandably they turn off notifications for so many things when they sign up for an app. I know I do that, not for everything, but a lot of them. The issue for those not in the stadium was that they brought attention to their avenues of communication, and then the time in between the updates was so long. Would have rather had, quote, nothing changed than nothing at all. That is from Dogtown Ty, giving his perspective on what took place Saturday night with the Doggies. But they could have communicated that the gates were closed, understood that they couldn't let people in, but communicate that. That is from the 314.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if I've ever been in a spot like at a Cardinal game where it gets really bad and what they do. I just can't. I just feel like it always happens and you're in the building already and then you shelter through the concourse. I don't think I've ever been in a situation where it's coming down and then you're not allowed in the game. And at that point, I don't know what I would do. You just guess find the nearest place that'll let you in indoors and then wait it out. But that's a tough spot for everybody.
Did any of these soccer dorks look at a weather forecast at any time on Saturday? It was obvious that it was going to... it was obvious they weren't going to start the game in time hours before the game. Go Dogs.
Hindsight's 2020. Not necessarily.
I mean, it was perfect. I mean, I was on a golf course at 5:45, and it was beautiful out.
Yeah, it was all
I don't
day.
know. I don't know. I don't know.
I don't think it's on the fans for not knowing exactly when the heavy weather was going to come through downtown. That's a tough thing to just, kind of get into a minute-by-minute estimation.
Your thoughts are welcome. 314-881-TMA5. You're welcome to call in 636-9004. TMA and email in for our design, air, heating, and cooling email day, the morning after at InsideSTL.com. The morning after at InsideSTL.com. Design, air, heating, and cooling email of the day. Dominate adventure with the Terex family of rugged side-by-side. The 2-passenger and 4-passenger recreational side X sides deliver the perfect balance of performance and comfort on the trails. The 2-passenger Terex KRX 1000 and 4-passenger Terex KRX 1000 sports sides are built with next-level capability and power to deliver the adventure of a lifetime. Get your Terex at Big St. Charles Motorsports, located on I-70 at Cave Springs. All right, we'll take a commercial break. Come back with our 9 o'clock hour design, air, heating, and cooling email of the day. Send yours in the morning after at InsideSTL.com. This is the Ryan Kelly Morning After from the Michelob Ultra Studios.
Urban Dictionary defines thirsty as purposely, knowingly, and recklessly attempting to gain fame to boost self-esteem. So, are you thirsty? Well, TMA has you covered. Become a part of the 2023 TMA Listener of the Month Club. You nominate yourself for a monthly award. And if you win, you get recognition and stuff to help you satisfy that insatiable thirst. We're talking January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, etc. Go to TMASTL.com or the TMA app. Give us your name, a photo, and other pertinent information. Tell us why you deserve to be TMA Listener of the Month. And if you don't want to use your real name or photo, we don't really care. The TMA Listener of the Month. Get recognized just for being you, or fake you, or whatever. Quenched by Milagro Tequila. Welcome to the brighter side of tequila with Milagro in the morning after on KPNT HD2.
I'm Ryan Kelly with thehomeloanexpert.com. Have you been thinking about buying a home, but you're sitting on the sidelines because you think the process is just going to be too complicated and maybe you'll get stuck in a bidding war? Not when you're working with me. We can start with a phone call and I can get you pre-approved the day you call in. I'll get you a lower rate, and with our 10-day closing guarantee, you'll be in the home of your dreams by the end of the month. So if you've been sitting on the fence, it's time to move. Get pre-approved for your next home loan today at thehomeloanexpert.com. NMLS number 1326241.
Hello, it's Jackson for Rosalita's. TMA listeners know that Rosalita's Cantina has the best patio and the best Tex-Mex in town. From tableside guac to piled high nachos, the amazing menu at Rosalita's is full of classic Mexican dishes. Plus, it's always time for a margarita, and Rosalita's has the most delicious house and specialty margs in town. Enjoy happy hour specials Monday through Friday from 3 to 6, and let Rosalita's cater your next event. Check out rosalitascantina.com or visit the downtown or DePere location today. Time to get your fiesta on at Rosalita's. Hey, it's Jackson from Mark Hanna. TMA listeners have a lot to think through financially, saving for retirement and college while also paying bills and enjoying life along the way. Whether you're like me and starting your financial planning, or if you're already retired, call Mark Hanna. Mark works with you to design a strategy to do your finances right. It's a straightforward approach that starts with a 15-minute phone call to discuss your needs. Visit evergreenstl.com or give Mark a call at 314-889-0503 today. Mark Hanna offers securities through Equitable Advisors and insurance and annuity products through Equitable Network, LLC.
Hey, St. Louis, Eddie McVeigh here from Maggie O'Brien's. When you head downtown for a concert or Cards or Blues game, and now for the St. Louis City soccer game, please come see us at Maggie O'Brien's before and after your event. Take our shuttle to and from, or stay in-house and watch your favorite team on our multiple high-def TVs. We look forward to seeing you soon at one of our 2 locations in Sunset Hills on South Lindbergh or downtown at the corner of Market and 20th Street. Union Station is next to us.
Hey,
Hey, this is Tim McKernan of TMA, and I am thrilled to have new clients on board Longo Biggs Injury Law. CD Longo and Doug Biggs and Doug the Thing. I want our audience to know is that you guys are local and you guys are different. Tell our audience how you're different.
Yeah, Tim, both CD and I are from St. Louis area, born and raised in the South City area or the South County area, and we are also thrilled to be part of the TMA family now. If anyone signs up with us for an injury case, their case is treated like they are family. We get to know you, we get to know the ins and outs of your case, and make sure we represent you like you are part of our family. We're not like one of the large firms in the area who might take your case and just treat you like another number or another file. You'll get our personal attention. It's either CD and I who will handle your case directly. And if you are injured in an accident, please remember us. You can visit us at longobiggs.com, and that's Biggs with 2 G's.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Okay. Hot takes.
Yeah.
Pepperoncini. Pepperoncini.
And now the Pepperoncini Show with Darren Atkins and Ken Stroh. All right, take it, fellas.
There it is. That's the open.
Pepperoncini.
Pepperoncini. Pepperoncini. Pepperoncini. Pepperoncini. Pepperoncini. Pepperoncini.
We don't know what it is. We don't understand the name. We just know it's stupid. And it's available every weekday, featuring Iggy and the Plowboy. Apparently it's some kind of a podcast or something. Available at TMASTL.com and on the TMASTL mobile app. Whatever.
Engineer Design Facilities is moving forward as the EDF Group, the most experienced data center and critical facilities service provider in the St. Louis market. Check out the newly revamped website, theedfgroup.com, and take a look at each of the 3 divisions they have to offer. EDF Group is your one throat to choke for all your critical facilities, data center, commercial fire alarm, and electrical and IT infrastructure needs. To contact the EDF Group, email fire@theedfgroup.com. Experience the EDF Group difference and learn more at theedfgroup.com.
Hey, if you like the morning after, check out Balloon Party on 101 ESPN. HD1, by the way. It's sports talk with Tim McKernan and Action Jackson from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. each weekday, right after the morning after. It's the worst named show in the history of radio, but the content's pretty good, so check it out on 101 ESPN or get the podcast on the TMA app. You're hearing TMA all day on KPNT HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis, featuring the Ryan Kelly Morning After, live from 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. Then a full show replay from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m., followed by the best of TMA from 1 p.m. to 7 p.m., and another same-day replay starting at 10 p.m. Find the full schedule at TMASTL.com. Brought to you by Ryan Kelly at thehomeloanexpert.com, the most efficient mortgage process you'll ever experience.
I'm gay.
Now,
The Ryan Kelly Morning After.
KPNT FM HD2.
Collinsville, St. Louis.
It's a banger.
This the jam?
Yeah, this is the jam. This is the one you wanted. This is the one you got. It's Ryan Kelly Morning After. Michelob Ultra Studios. Tim McKernan, Action Jackson, the Plowhawk, KG and O-Town's in the Horton Watkins Studios. Ken Strode will be making his way in momentarily. And the great thing about the new studios, you can hear when a door opens.
Yes.
It's like a podcast that guys, man, I got a podcast. What's that? I got a podcast.
Oh, yeah.
And
Top
to the
50 in
top
every
50
country.
in every
And hair.
country.
Don't forget about the hair.
Yeah.
Don
That was a
LaGreca.
weird rant.
That's what it's. That's one of my favorite drops. It's a sneaker favorite.
Why is he doing that? Don McGregor's great, though.
Oh, my goodness. Send your emails in as we have the Design Air Heating and Cooling email today, the morning after, at InsideSTL.com. Call in. 6369004 TMA. Jackson and I are going to deal with a situation. We're going to be blamed for Jordan Hicks coming up at 10 o'clock on 101 ESPN. The program is called Balloon Party. Stephen Wildwood, if you want to leave a mic drop, let us know, and we'll make sure that is played. 314-881-TMA5. That is how you can text into the EDF Group text inbox. Why don't you work with that Tommy Cibulka? He's a wonderful gentleman. He's got VIP auto accessories. That's what he has. It's VIP auto accessories. Tommy Cibulka, VIP auto accessories. And VIP is your one-stop shop for all your graphic and commercial vehicle upfitting needs. Vehicle wraps, wide format printing such as banners, storefront signage, walls, floors, etc. Anything with graphics, Tommy and VIP can do. VIP gets your fleet vehicles from dealership to street ready, fast and personalized
for your company's needs. They know that every day your vehicle isn't ready is lost revenue. Fleet vehicles, signage, graphics, and design. VIP does it all in-house for your business. They're all local since 1979. It's VIP. And VIP Auto Accessories. And if you would like to talk it over with Tommy Cibulka at VIP Auto Accessories, you can call him 314-428-3900. You can email him at tommy.cibulka@VIP Auto Accessories. That's Tommy Cibulka and VIP Auto Accessories. Tim, isn't there a creaking door in the John Lackey sick clip? That's from the Birthday Hawk. There is, but that was not done in this studio. This studio was like a break room up until 14 months ago. And now it's a studio. Guys, I hunkered down at the back bar at Maggie O'Brien's, and everyone in there knew they closed gates. Also, everyone knew when gates were opening and the game was scheduled to start. The pitch and Maggie O's let everyone in off the street. Good times, great win. That's from the 314.
God bless. Yeah, I mean, I don't think that everyone knew when the Dogs announced when the game was going to start. There was no way you could be like, oh yeah, starting at 9:49. I know that in advance of when they're going to announce it. So you found out at the same time everyone else found out.
And I also want people to know that the promo code is up for Sound Story. It's TMA, and that gets you 15% off. MySoundStory.com.
That was a hell of a pause.
It's a nice nap pop of the cup.
Some sliding.
TMA is it's a 15% off at mysoundstory.com, so get the gift card and enjoy the festivities.
Did I mess you up there?
It was very loud.
I just moved it because your water was here. I don't want to knock it over.
That's fine. Let's see what we got here. James Carlton was or is not going to be in studio today. He will be in on some Mondays. 314-961-4800. Or go online at carltoninsurance.net. If your insurance costs a leg and an arm, call James Carlton, State Farm. James has 310 5-star reviews on Carlton Insurance Google reviews. 310 5-star reviews for home, for life, for auto. It's James Carlton of the Carlton State Farm Insurance Agency. 314-961-4800. Go online at carltoninsurance.net. He's in Webster Groves. He's not located all over the place and infiltrating with advertising in St. Louis. No, he's right here in your community, and we know him. And I'm a client, and so I can tell you firsthand. 314-961-4800. Go online at carltoninsurance.net. All right, Action Jackson, what do we... Jesus, can someone get him a coloring book so he can do something? That's from the Weightlifting Podcast. Reggie, do you need something to do per the Weightlifting Podcaster?
Tim was doing 2 live spots.
I'm not joking.
He's doing 2 live spots. What do you want me to do?
There's $20 in it for you if you bring in a coloring book tomorrow.
I
And
love
during
to-
live reads,
I
you
love to
start
color.
working on a coloring book.
I love to color.
$20.
I probably have some at the house. I gotta be honest with you.
Well, I do. I love to color.
Do you really?
Yeah.
I deep teased this erotic story. Here we go.
Oh, wow, here we go.
Well, the folks at Hubbard have done it. Listener of the Month prize of a foursome at the Dotem is just too big of a prize to pass up. So here is my submission and my erotic story. My wife and I have had a threesome before. 3 threesomes, to be exact, all with the same girl, a friend of ours from out of town. But we both agreed that our white whale would be her best friend. Last month, and when I read this, I didn't understand that paragraph. I'm like, okay, if you've had 3 threesomes, why would the white whale be having a threesome?
Right.
Now I get it. So they went in a concerted effort to seduce her best friend.
Wow, that's a tough. I mean, I can't even imagine how to pull that off.
I read this when it came in. I got it over the weekend. I got it on Friday afternoon. I guess I read it over the weekend. I didn't realize that. Okay, that changes what I recall reading over the weekend. So they both targeted her best friend. God, I gotta tell you, that surprises me.
Tough move. I don't know how you pull that off.
Well, you're making it up, so.
I like
default.
any talk of Learn. I have a major girl crush on her.
Hi, Ellen.
Yeah, there you go.
Let's call her Ellen.
Yeah.
Did you call in
Piped
to
in
their
there.
show? She was talking threesomes.
Okay, here's the background on what happened. She came over for drinks and dinner, as she has done 1,000,000 times in the past. We sat around the living room, then on the couch, and me across the room in my chair, just talking and drinking as we always do. About an hour later, and a bottle of wine into the evening, my wife's phone goes off, reminding her to take the trash cans down to the curb. She asks me if I would take care of that. Of course. So I gather the trash from around the various locations.
What does this have to do with a threesome?
Just read what's in the prompt.
We talking about boots?
I can tell you right now, he comes back from taking the trash out and they're making out.
Oh, wow.
So he sent the email to you, too?
No, I'm just telling you what he made up.
Oh, yeah. This is a Penthouse Forum rewrite.
From the brain of Ken.
So I gather the trash from around the various locations in the house, take the main trash can outside, and wheel the outside can down to the curb.
Such detail for this.
Takes maybe 10 minutes, but they're alone and out of sight the entire time. I walk back in my front door to find our friend on top of my wife, kissing her.
There you go.
Is that a new report?
No, it's an old report.
Oh, we don't know.
I just told you.
Wheeler.
She sits up at the sound of the door, giggles, and asked if I cared. Absolutely not, I say. And then they start back in again. For the next, what seems to be 10 minutes, I just stand there and I watch, seeing if/how things would progress. And progress they did. They start taking clothes off, and now it's game time. I know at this point, it isn't just going to be them making out or something, which they have done before, but that was it. Once they're both fully naked, our friend is on the receiving end first. While she is receiving, she and I make contact. Eye contact. And she motions for me to join. From then, it's on.
His hand wandered into my Sansa belt, and my turkey baster started to drip with lust.
It's lust. It's dripping with lust. What a sentence.
Everyone had a good time. We all enjoyed each other over the next hour or so. It was amazing. After everything was all said and done, our friend gets up and says she needs to go home, but that she had a great night and would be seeing us again soon. The next morning, over breakfast, my wife asks how I enjoyed the evening. I said it was the greatest thing ever, better than I imagined. She agreed and said she hopes it happens again in the near future. Well, you're right, Tim. Threesomes are the key to happiness, the meaning of life, the reason we are all here. I cannot recommend them enough. Inevitably, Iggy will say, oh, wow. Inevitably, Iggy will say this is fake, but it is 100% real. I have proof this happened.
Oh, how's one prove that?
It's got video.
I'm enjoying the show. Hope to see you all at the Dotem. That's from Cuck Knobloch.
What a champion.
Iggy, your response, because you were specifically referenced.
Well, I think I nailed it, too. When he took the trash cans out, you knew where the story was going.
I didn't. I thought it was just a little throwaway line about
No, well, I nailed it, didn't I?
household duties. You did?
Yeah, this is
Well, it happened, it happened.
Paul,
Why
what
do
do
I
you
care?
This is a Mrs. Steal Your Girl situation.
You think his girl was stolen by the best friend?
Not yet, but it's tracking. After she was blown away and enjoyed it so much, hoping that it happens again, my read on that is the sex will never be the same, just him and her. Like, it's always going to be the friend needs to be there. So either they're going to be in a throuple, or this dude could be pushed out in a cuck situation where he could be playing video games, eating a bag of popcorn.
Could be worse
They're
things.
going to be in the bedroom, kind of, playing.
There could be a lot worse things in this life than.
No, I'm not complaining. I just hope he knows the ramifications that, it's her friend.
But if they end up in a throuple, can he be listener of the century?
If he sends in proof,
which I don't know,
catapults him to the top.
I'm certainly going to have to give him consideration. I'm morally obligated.
Do you know the guy? Like, if he sent in a picture, you would know that's him?
No.
So we don't know it's him or not.
But I do know his real name, and he is on the fan page.
Yeah, but I'm saying unless you know him and you know what he looks like.
Well, then he's on. What I'm saying is he's on Facebook, so you can see his pictures.
Okay. Then if he sends that in and you match it up.
But I got to be honest with you, I don't want to see that guy's face while he's experiencing pleasure.
Well, and I also don't believe that. God, get out!
I don't know if you can say the F word yet.
Almost said it.
I almost said it, but not quite. I'm getting tired of getting caught up in this thing. I don't believe if it's the first time you ever did it, that the best friend's going to let you start taking pictures and videotape it.
Yeah, that's a good.
I got to start with this. Now, for the record, a lot of people are texting and saying this was fake. Buzz says this is a fake story. My Butthole Chronicles are real. And they may not be the stories you want, but they are the stories you need. That's our Buzz. This story was as fake as every story Kenny tells. Find a script somewhere else other than Pornhub. You sad. Worst listener of the month. That's from Flocky the Smurf. And then Harrison's brother Masters back about the breathing. Then Chairman Stephen Wildwood. I masturbated at 11:41 p.m. and 3:52 a.m. last night. Give me the foursome, bitches. That's from Chairman Steve.
With a little stallion.
In Wildwood. Cuck Knobloch just texting in and said, please don't use my real name. Cuck, I promise you I would never, ever violate that. Hell, I think it's illegal, actually. But with that all said, here is, and I'm glad that Cuck Knobloch is listening, because this is the thing that stands out to me. And Plowhawk, we're the only ones on the dais in serious relationships. So we can only speak to this.
It is true.
So my wife has had this best friend forever. Attractive lass. She went out with Lance Lynn. Feel like maybe another, was part of that Naughty Nine group that had dinner with Michael Jordan years ago. She's an attractive woman. No question about it. But I would be so creeped out, and I am the most pro-threesome person, I think, in the world, if either one of them said, we would like to have a threesome where the two of us are interacting. Because I view it as like a sisterhood.
Oh, I know.
And even though both are attractive, I don't want that going on, not because of it, because it actually somehow becomes physically... I don't know if off-putting is the right word. It's certainly not as hot as if they just had just met.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because there's like
there's history,
25-year best friendship.
Right.
So I don't know if Madison has the same kind of like best friend situation. Like if there's like a no-brainer maid of honor, if when you guys have your wedding.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that, to me, that's my first reaction. Like, that's why I changed when I was reading this on the air. I'm going, they both said they wanted to sleep with her best friend. That just, that part strikes me. I'm not saying it's not possible, but I'm just saying that part surprises me.
Well, my problem with that, too, is I also know the significant others of them as well. I don't think there is any single friend that she has. I think most of them are in relationship, both of which we hang out with and go, weekend trips.
So then you'd be cucking somebody.
I'm cucking somebody, and also I know them way too well. Way too well.
I have a question about...
I am taking questions.
Yeah, about Cuck's story. Is he saying that he's pursuing the best friend of his wife or the best friend of the girl that they often have threesomes with?
No, the best friend of his wife.
Okay, because that's...
And that the two of them identified that. God, I got to tell you. And listen, I would love to think that this is possible. Been chasing it for a long time.
Yeah.
Doesn't seem all that likely at this point, especially with a 1-year-old. But if we were lying in bed and my wife said, hey, I really want us to take down Jay Murder, I'd go, wow. I'd assume she's like, developed some kind of just, meth habit or something. It just isn't the way it is. Now, that's not to say that I'm saying Cuck Knobloch is lying. That is the only part of the story that, to me, raised a flag.
Yeah.
And I've said this before with the couples I've been with at Hito, that I just couldn't be with anybody from our group. From our
you wouldn't be with any
loafers.
fluffernutters. Oh, you'd be with fluffernutters, but not beach loafers.
Yeah, I don't know any fluffernutters.
Never been
but the beach loafers. And I had a couple that said, how come the three of us have never hooked up? And I said, because I know you too well. It'd be kind of weird. We party every day on the beach together. We have dinner together. And then for us to have sex, no, it just... No, maybe for them.
That crosses the...
but I couldn't... I don't... No, it would just be weird.
Too much baggage. You have too much baggage.
Well, it's just I know them too well.
Right.
And it's like, I don't know. We're too good of friends.
Do you regret that, or you wish you would?
No. Well, no. There's one I would have, but they never asked.
Yeah, the best friend thing, that is interesting. And you'd have to think that they are both in such agreement that maybe... in years earlier, I'm not making accusations, that maybe Cuck's wife and her have already...
It's a nice theory. It's a nice theory. It's a nice theory.
Or at least talked about it, or there's been some sort of tension before. Otherwise, it would be kind of weird if you were just this totally platonic friendship.
but you all like the whole time you've been wanting to sleep with that person. It's a lot of boiled up emotion right there.
Boy, there aren't many people in this engineer design facilities text inbox who buy into this story. Sit the bench, Knobloch, you're a fraud. That's from Scissor Me Timbers. If we get an erotic story set in the Tennessee mountains next week, I'm going to start to wonder, Jackie. That's from Chairman Steve in Wildwood. Tim, I don't know if my wife and your wife have actually formally met. Is the appropriate distance for comfort there? I'm just curious. Thanks. That's from Scott's Wrinkled Ballsack. He's a predator, is what this guy is.
Yeah, but is he real? Is he? I know
Scott
he's real.
Ballsack?
I know he's real,
Yeah,
but
he's a great guy.
But
as is Mrs. Ballsack.
But is their pursuit real? Or are they just kind of like Iggy said, teasing?
If in this legislation we have 4 parties, and if 3 parties vote yes, and I get the sense 3 parties would vote yes.
Right.
And 1 party votes no, the legislation doesn't
it's got to
pass.
be unanimous. Yeah, 100%.
Absolutely.
That's absolutely.
So therefore, I don't think it's going to be happening.
Pipe dream, yeah.
But you know what? I respect her pursuit, and I tip my cap. Is the best friend married? And if so, does that dude get a chance to have a threesome with both? That's from Painter Guy.
That's a good question.
Yeah, good luck repaying that favor.
Yeah, that's
How do you believe the story? Let's cut right to the chase. We already know Iggy says no.
I do not.
You do not. Jackson, do you believe the story?
Yeah, but I believe most things that come in.
You believe Bill's wife is a woman?
The problem is Bill's wife doesn't exist either.
I default.
Bill's wife exists. It's just a guy. Who, by the way, can't believe that there's at least one member of the show who thinks that he's a woman.
Shocking.
I can't, I default believe these things, and I might be naive.
5 more years in the business.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe I'll change. But
one Becky Wiesberger will flip you.
Yeah. So maybe I am being naive, but yeah, I believe it.
Carlos, KG in O-Town?
Cook Knobloch's giving me no reason not to believe him. I'm in.
Wow.
See?
How about that?
Me and Iggy are just...
And Iggy, you're still no, right?
Yeah, it's no.
What about Hot Wife Autumn? We're still not believing that one?
What about Hot Wife Autumn? I can't be 100%.
Yeah, only 50.
I'm 99%. You're 50-50.
Where are you on because she called in.
Where are you on Hot Wife Autumn, Plowhawk?
I believe that. I've talked to...
multiple sources?
No, I'm not in that
Western Illinois.
No, I talked to
Paying
Beer
off.
Cats off. I think she's legit.
Yeah. I don't know.
Jackson, you believe it, right?
Yeah, I don't know why, we had this whole thing. It would have to be a really detailed ruse to pull on us.
It's a big ruse.
If you're gonna... We did, 50 minutes on the damn podcast interviewing her, so...
You would really have to be bored. I feel like that's something you would do maybe, if you're, trying to get, a Twitter or Instagram or TikTok following.
Right.
But, Beer Cats, I think, is in his 40s, and I believe Hot Wife Autumn is in that area, age-wise. It's just not something you do with, and they both have, children. It's just not, it's what I was talking about with regards to social media. If I understand if you're single, you don't have children, or you're young and you're on the internet arguing with people, I get it. But then once you get to a certain point in life, and if you are married or have a serious relationship, and or children, and you're still arguing with people on the internet, then oh boy, that's kind of how those are my that's how I try to track it. KG in O-Town, where are you on the Hot Wife Autumn thing? Do you buy that?
I do buy the Hot Wife Autumn thing.
Trying to see so Jackson believes everything and acknowledges that he might be susceptible to bluffs.
Mm-hmm.
KG in O-Town, do you feel like you're susceptible to bluffs?
I can be a little naive at times, but I listened to the Tim McKernan Show podcast with the Hot Wife Autumn interview, and I'm convinced.
And Plowhawk, where are you? You lean towards yes on that.
On the Hot Wife Autumn, yes.
You do not believe Cuck Knobloch.
No, and there's a 1,000,000% chance that Bill's wife is just this really sad dude.
See, I think you're wrong about that one, Plowsy.
You think Bill's wife's a woman?
I do.
Oh, boy,
oh, my God.
We've had a lot of
Iggy, do you think Bill's wife's a woman?
No.
I don't know if I've ever really disagreed with Jackson on anything as much as I do that Bill's wife is a woman.
I truly believe. I don't know. I remember.
Isn't it because she likes you?
No, that's not the reason.
And who is Bill?
That's not
Nobody
Bill's
knows
wife's
who Bill is.
Yeah,
Yeah, but you just make him Bill's wife. Just say a name. I'm Susie.
Susie Cream Cheese.
Susie Cream Cheese. I'm Jenny. I'm
She's Bill's
Christy.
wife. It's not the reason that she that's not the reason. I think that I remember there was one text or maybe two texts that like really made me believe that she was a female. Otherwise, I wouldn't say this because I know like when people are pretending to be a female, that's part of the gig here. But like, I truly believe that.
That's part of the gig here. I wonder if other shows in the building have the problem with gentlemen posing as women on their.
I can imagine.
Carlos Spicy Wiener has officially issued a statement. Nah, just too weird to engage in coitus with the other fluffer butter. Oh, this is about Iggy's situation. Fluffer butter lovers at Jamaican naked fat camp, even though we bob for boiled jerk chicken and communal hot tubs together already. Come on, Ken! That's from Carlos Spicy Wiener.
You haven't seen, I mean, I could show you pictures of some of my beach loafer friends.
Carlos Spicy Wiener, do you like some pictures?
And I've actually showed Tim a couple of them. The one that used to work at Florida International.
Yeah, she was legit. That one was legit. I'm not just saying that.
Amy.
She worked at FIU?
Yeah.
Gold Panthers?
She was working there when she was in the basketball department when Isaiah Thompson was there. Or Isaiah Robert. Was it Isaiah? Thomas was there.
They sideways with 23.
Yeah.
Still.
So, I mean, there's some good-looking ones, and one of them, Amy, is the one that she has the most beautiful breasts you've ever seen, and they're real. But no, I can never hook up with them. They weren't. They liked me as a friend, but they would have no interest in hooking up with me.
To me, it's hilarious that the lyingest liar who has ever lied believes exactly 0 stories told by the listeners. It's not unlike a cheating spouse who is hyper-vigilant of the, quote, good spouse, blaming him/her as the cheater. Real liars recognize real liars. That's Johnny Johnson.
Well, it's not true. I don't care if you believe it or not, just like I'm sure that Cuck Knobloch doesn't care if I believe him or not.
No, clearly he doesn't. He put it at the end of his email that you wouldn't believe.
Yeah, well, it doesn't bother me. I know most of the people don't believe anything I say, but that's fine. Whatever you want to believe, that's your opinion.
Knobloch has issued a statement. Let them doubt. That's the beauty of facts. They don't have to be believed to be true. This is all 100% real. Is there any way that Cuck Knobloch could call in? I just want to ask about the best friend part. Because that's the only part that just kind of...
Not real.
And for those of you, and I know plenty of our audience members, whether it be girlfriends or wives, the wife or girlfriend, there's a good chance has like a really close friend that may be called a best friend, even though they might not do that since they're not, teenagers anymore. And then to me, and maybe I'm off on this, because I feel like we might have discussed this at one point that some of the, the handful of ladies in the audience, and when I mean handful, that might be exaggerating the size of the number of females in the audience, said if they were going to engage in sapphic play, that they would be more comfortable doing it with a friend than they would a stranger.
Really?
Meaning at a cocktail lounge, which surprised me.
Yeah.
But since multiple texted in and said that, I go, okay, well then maybe I'm off. But I just can't imagine like planning to seduce my wife's best friend as a couple.
Yeah.
But hey, I'm not saying that makes it false. I'm just saying that's the part that I can't wrap my.
Don't you have that conversation before you do it? I mean, you both say we both have a fantasy about being with my wife's best friend. You just don't spring that on the best friend while you take the trash out. You would think you would talk about that. Hey,
tight window.
Me and my husband have been thinking about this. Is this something you would be interested in? But according to this guy, I took the trash out and he jumped on top of her.
The fact that
that's why I don't believe it.
The fact that my dumpster is in the middle of my alley and it only takes me 2 minutes to take out the trash. The 10-minute taking out of the trash.
Maybe he has a fabulous estate.
Yeah. Or maybe he was.
Were you putting that in the back of the Gator and driving it down like the driveway to where the.
It was
10
on a
minutes
compound.
is a long time.
Let's see. Bill's wife says, "I'm a real girl. I would want a stranger." That's from Bill's wife.
That sounds like a real
Shout out
female
Bill's
right
wife.
there. Just the grammar. And
Chicago Ginger is 4 texts below Bill's wife's text and says Bill's wife is an overweight 43-year-old divorced guy living in Spanish Lake.
Slander.
Yeah, that can't be real. I hope not.
I think, how did that conversation go?
Like while the trash is being taken out?
No. Like
Bill's wife?
No, not Bill's wife. She is not real. Cuck Knobloch and his female
right.
have a conversation about her friend. Now, is this a conversation where, like, the dogs and everyone's on the couch. You have to turn off the TV.
To bring the dogs
You
into
got
this?
eye contact, or if this just a conversation where you're kind of both snacking on the couch watching a show.
Yeah, I see what you're saying on that.
Like how serious of a conversation
I'm picturing
is
we're
this?
lying in bed. I've already snorted like 3 rails of sleeping pills. And, but I mean, is the guy, think about this, all right, Plowhawk? Like, let's play the hand out, like how you and Madison are in bed.
Yeah.
And you go, hey, I'd really like to bang your best friend. Would you mind performing oral on her while I do? You know, I mean, it's probably not going to be well received unless you have just the most spectacular relationship, at least from my perspective.
Or the
Could be
reverse
grounds for
role.
dismissal.
Yeah,
Or the
it really
reverse
could be. It could be DFA.
Like, hey, Mace Dog, what do you think about
Madison turns to you and says, I'd like to bang Reefer.
Yeah, how do you respond?
I would handle that.
You should do it like I did when I was asked about anals. Just ignore it, then say I'll take 48 hours and never say anything again.
Aaron and the Chuck, who I have met and is wonderful. And Iggy, she has nipple rings, right?
She says she does. I've asked to see him. She never showed them to me. Well, I asked to gobble a bowl. She didn't show them.
And if it's not going to happen to gobble.
I figured that would be a good time. Everybody's drinking. Let me see.
She's not like Denzel at St. Cave Springs Lane. I could never hook up with my friend now. In college, it certainly happened.
Ooh.
Wow, wow, wow.
Yeah, I could see
Aaron
it.
The Chuck is engaged in sapphic play. Now, see, I believe that, but now I'm believing that like you with Bill's wife. I just want to believe it.
A drunken situation to me would be more, if you're going to hook up with your friend, doing it stone cold sober to me is like, that's such a grand gesture. Whereas if you do it drunken, especially in college, that's just kids being kids. So I tend to believe that more than
that part I agree with 100%.
Yeah.
Where you're coming from on it.
If you're doing it stone cold sober, like past college, like into your 30s or 40s, then like you're making, that's a major moment in your life. It's a watershed moment, especially if you're doing it with your husband, Cuck Knobloch, while taking the trash out of otherwise.
Well, you do a lot of things in your younger days you wouldn't do now. I mean, I would have trouble, like having sex in front of one of you guys.
Clip that off.
Jesus. I don't even know.
Plowhawk actually had a physical repulsion where he backed away, unknowing he involuntarily his head moved back.
You said that like we were going to react. Like,
well, I'll give it.
Thank you for that.
I'll give you an example. What I'm talking about, how when you're younger compared to older. I had a friend of mine, Gary.
Gary.
And
Dad's name is Gary.
I was
like this.
It's my uncle's name.
One of the girls that I took to Fort Melvin quite a bit.
God.
I believe they were. I believe they were going to Lindenwood at the time, and they had a dorm. Her and a
Big game
roommate.
against Kansas coming up.
So we went back to the dorm, and we played a game of strip poker with the 4 of us. And the rules were whatever girl and whatever guy won, they hooked up. Even though I was kind of dating the one.
Wow.
But I won, and her roommate won. And we just continued to get naked. And then we just got in bed while Gary and the girl I was dating is over there. I said,
"So you cut Gary?"
I just said, "Go ahead. You can."
Who's Ned Reynolds?
It was the deal. We won, so you guys can do this or go back to the.
And they watched?
Well, they felt a little weird, so they went back to her parents' house.
I would hope they thought
So
we were
did you
alive.
get cut? Because you were hooking up with, this was your roommate or your girlfriend's roommate?
I wouldn't say a girlfriend. I mean, we were kind of.
You're dating
We were
Gary?
doing it a lot, but no, I was dating, going out with the girl.
Did Gary then hook up with the girl that you were
Well,
going
as it
with?
turned out, they went back to her parents' house.
Right.
And when I got done, I went back to pick him up because she drove. And I got there, and he's sitting in the dining room, and she's in bed. She went to bed. I said, "What happened?" He goes, "She wanted no part of me."
Right.
She's upset that you stayed.
Tough night for Gary.
I said, "Well, it was a bet." But see,
probably half naked after.
But getting naked in front of your friend and then starting to have sex with the roommate while he's still there, I could.
And you
never
wouldn't do that with any
I
of
could
us.
never do that
Thank
now.
you. What a gentleman. Nothing happened in Jamaica. We didn't see Iggy have sex. I guess we almost saw Plowhawk having sex.
Yeah.
As it turns out.
Easily. Yeah, we were just right on the other side of that nook. right under somebody's balcony.
Plowboy didn't miss a beat when he got into Jamaica. It was instantly in his element.
I was in a comfort zone.
Aaron in the Chuck, who I believe has nipple rings, said it was definitely kids being kids, but it was hot nonetheless. I really like that text a lot.
Yeah.
It makes me believe it.
I believe Aaron because we know Aaron. These other people making these stories,
Cuck
I don't know
Knobloch.
them. So I can't really
Yeah.
I don't know anything about them, so I just go on the side of I think they're lying.
When your text name is Cuck Knobloch and then the other one, Bill's wife. If you want us to believe these things, you gotta.
The Glendale Lemming texting and using the TMA STL app. If this is real, and let's assume it is, there's basically zero question in my mind that these two girls have been hooking up for a while. They're on top of each other in the time it takes for him to take the trash out. And it's supposedly the first time? Okay, sure. She needed his permission and will end up leaving him for her if this is real. That's from the Glendale Lemming.
No, they just form a throuple, and then Cuck Knobloch is a champion.
10 minutes
If that's
to
what
take
he's
out the trash,
if that's
man.
yeah, that's a fair question. Did he
Well,
say
and I-
10 minutes?
Here's the thing.
What he said.
I believe him, but again, I wonder if it's like you and it's hopeful belief.
Yeah, well, that's
But
a
the
fun
best,
place
but
to
the
be.
best friend part is the only thing that I'm just like, man, doesn't that make your relationship with your best friend, which is usually something that's developed over years, isn't it awkward when you're like hanging out the next time?
Right.
And look, I mean,
I don't know. I mean, hell, what do I know?
to each their own. I don't know who gets a notification it's time to take the trash out. But even if you do, you don't stop what you're doing now. I mean, you have until the next morning, so you get done with whatever you're doing, and take the things to the curb. It's not like it has to be done right then. But you tell him, yeah, go take the trash out. I'm gonna hop on her.
Oh, yeah. Cuck Knobloch's here in a couple months and going to be in the basement working at Orange Theory. In that
Because the
situation
best friend's
where-
moving in?
Oh,
That father, who has that? Sean Mahoney's dead eye.
Yeah.
Is that who it is? Who has that
Garrett
situation?
I know that was Butch Patrick's werewolf doll.
And his kids called Derek
called
Dad.
Derek Dad now.
What a bad beat.
Now,
Talk about Gary.
What's he gonna be doing at Orange Theory?
Oh, I don't know. I just was bringing back that story
Hot
to where the
yoga?
guy's living in the basement.
I mean,
and kids
you're
are calling another guy
Bikram?
dad.
You're saying he's in shape?
Guys, Jackson is always naive. I mean, he's still defending a guide trip to a cabin in the Tennessee mountains. That's from Chairman Steve.
Damn
That's
right
not
I am.
right.
I don't care. I don't care what any of you jokers think.
I don't know that I care if the story is true or not so much as I enjoy watching Ken's jealous girlfriend reaction to Tim's attention being diverted to the tales of yet a new pervert. That's from Arbor Day.
That really makes no sense. Any of that makes no sense.
I still feel for Gary. Was he like half naked? Did he like lose a little bit of his strip poker?
I think he had his shirt off, and the one I wouldn't say I was dating her.
There he is.
She was down to her underwear.
Nipples akimbo and watching his roommate, his homie, bang someone.
Guys, his name is Cuck. Watching in the corner aggressively masturbating does not mean he took part. If anything, it was the other husband, and the lie was that it was him. That's from Scissor Me Timbers. Somebody texted Bill's wife to call in, I see. Is
KJ.
Bill's wife calling in? Nice job, KJ in O-Town.
I can't imagine she would.
I would imagine either. Bill's wife.
Hello, this is Bill's wife.
I would like to bet you on this, and I would probably give you nice odds, but I don't know how we could ever really
Yeah, it'd be
truly
tough.
prove
tough.
it.
Unless they could, like-
somebody could totally orchestrate. the
Right,
thing.
but if they like shoved to an event, they were a female, and they showed us that their phone number matches this Bill's wife number, I think that would. But even then, I guess there could be some
there's ways
chicanery.
to doctor that. What day does their trash go out, and was this a school night threesome? That's from B Money.
Yeah, that's a good call. Do people get trash taken out on like a Sunday?
Well, that's a nice observation.
Because like if it's a Saturday, but also you could just take the trash out without the trash being ready for the next day.
Yeah, if you're a psychopath.
I like if it comes to my mind I need to take the trash out, I have to do it then, or else I'll forget about it. So.
Yeah, that guy taking the trash out for 10 minutes and not smoking a dart.
Yeah, maybe he
Where ain't this
smoked a
dumpster
dart.
at?
Maybe he smoked a dart, or maybe
Chucky now,
plants.
Cucky now,
Cocky
blood.
now,
Yeah. Got that cuck.
Let's see. Jackson, do I have any business I need to tend to?
Couple tree.
Couple tree. All right, let me tell people about Mentality. If you're dealing with low energy, low motivation, weight gain, muscle loss, fatigue, you're tired all the time, feeling anxious, moody, irritable, impatient, dealing with anxiety and depression, decreased mental acuity, attention span, and stress can cause focus issues on even the most simple tasks. Well, those are symptoms of low testosterone. Check out Mentality today at lowtusa.com. Go to lowtusa.com. That is Mentality. Mentality is a local healthcare facility specifically dedicated to helping men feel and perform at their very best. It doesn't matter what age you are, low testosterone can be an issue with any guy, even if you've tried testosterone before. Not everyone understands the blood chemistry in men's bodies. It Mentality, they can help. The normal range for testosterone is large, so if you've been to a doctor and they told you that you were normal without understanding the range or testing your free testosterone, it was not fully looked at, come get checked with Mentality. It's online at lowtusa.com. Bill's wife has responded to KG in O-Town and says some of us are at work.
Oh, don't do that.
I love that.
Likely
Some of us
story.
at work, like, dude, you're a fake dude.
Well, no, it's just the what's the word I'm looking for? Kind of the passive aggressive connotation that brought, kind of condescending. Like, oh, some of us have to work. What are we
Isn't
doing?
that reaction more likely from a man?
I don't know. Condescending, that can spread across any gender.
Is there at any point where a female just texting an HD2 show for now?
Aaron and the
it's been
Chuck.
like a year
What about
and a
Aaron and the
half.
Chuck? How do you explain that? How do you explain Cole or Ellen?
That's fine. They're two. It's more shocking there'd be like 5 or 6 bundles.
I
in there. One of
wonder
them
at
gotta be
any,
fake.
like, in our peak moment of female listenership, are there for real, and because you're going to instantaneously going to say no to this number, but for real, 100 women listening to this show?
At one time?
Like, yes.
No.
I can't imagine.
Under.
Yeah,
I can't
I would go
imagine.
over 50, but I'd go under 100.
What do you think,
But
Iggy?
by listening, does that mean possibly with their husband in the car?
Okay.
'Cause then
so
I
like
could-
they're actively listening on their own, like, oh, I'm going to live stream or
Yeah.
listen on the radio
Oh, if
or
it's like-
YouTube.
75, I think, would be a good number. I think that's reasonable.
What do you think, Iggy?
I don't know at the same time. I think at some point throughout the day, whether it be podcasting or turning it on periodically, but 100 at the same time, probably not. But there's more women who listen to the show than I think we believe.
That's why I've moved the number to 100.
It's just that's such a brown number with 3
Yeah.
digits in it, and it's tough. But yeah, it's certainly a possibility. All at one time would be tough, but and together in a day, I would go over 100 for sure.
And what's the YouTube demographic right now? 85-15, something like that.
That would be great. but
Guys, my wife is one, probably hears more of the show than I do. That's from stepdad Gary. Well, then you ought to take her to Glenn Betts Jewelers. They've been in business in St. Louis since 1941, operated by the 3rd and 4th generation of the Betts family. The Glenn Betts difference is you are served personally. You're not sold. Glenn Betts Jewelers develops relationships through generations of your family, too. They get to know your likes, your lifestyle.
I thought I could do that quietly.
It was louder than anything we've had in the past.
And who and what you love. The 3 L's. GlennBettsJewelers.com. Located 1 mile east to 270 on Manchester into Pear. It's super convenient. You just park right behind the jewelry store and plenty of parking. And you go in there and you see the Betts family. In the jewelry business, there is good, better, and then there is Betts. The Betts family passion for serving their customers has been passed down from generation to generation. It's Glenn Betts Jewelers, a wonderful sponsor here of the Ryan Kelly Morning After. We'll have the design, air, heating, and cooling email today. Any big prizes this week, Jackson? I
don't believe so.
We get with us too. But hey, you're competing in the April standings. JV Golf Coach has a lead. Bring a coloring book tomorrow.
I also have the
It's from the weightlifting podcast.
It is like you took a bat to the mic and just knocked it. That was really. I have the information on YouTube, by the way.
Oh, what do we have?
This one is. I haven't seen it this stark a difference.
Uh-oh.
Our male number is 99.8%, and our female.
How did it suddenly go from wasn't it at 1.80%?
It was at one point, yeah, we had upwards of 18 to 19% female.
that?
We've dropped down. This is the last 28 days. We're at 0.2% female.
That's why I said, 100 women simultaneously listening.
Yeah. But that's just YouTube.
What in St. Louis is there, and I'm not saying that this is not a rhetorical thing, the most female-oriented audience? I have no idea. I think Courtney has a large female listenership, but she also has a large male listenership. So to use that number wouldn't be, I don't know, this is such an obvious male-dominated audience. I'm trying to find what would be comparable, and then say, do you think at any moment 100 guys, call her daddy, wouldn't work because there's guys that are, handling themselves to that, or at least apparently, I guess the podcast has changed since it started. And I'm not talking about because one of the girls got booted, but because she's gotten more
interviews, I think. More interview based.
In politicals, I understand it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I know they had either Cole or Dylan Sprouse on that got a lot of play. And then I got
Are you a loyal listener?
No. I listened
I bet your female peers aren't they?
They were when it was at Barstool. I don't know if it's transitioned over to their new setup.
Spotify?
I think they're with Spotify, yeah.
Clock, does Madison's in her mid-20s. Do her and her friends listen to that?
No, I don't think. She listened to the show.
Is that right?
No,
yeah, there's one. Anna Marie listens.
My sister and mom do. There's 3 from my bunch.
My mom and sister listen.
All right, now we're at 4. Aaron and the Chuck.
Aaron and the
5.
Chuck.
Bill's wife.
We'll call that 0.5. So 6.5 women listen to the show.
Nice, there we go.
There's our 0.2%.
There it is. That's how we got there.
Yep. What a miracle.
Let's see. Jackson, do I have any other business to tend to? I'm trying to log into the email all while doing live reads and hosting the program. It is a juggling act of sorts, and I apologize to the audience for the juggling.
Big need to be discussed.
Longo Big needs to be discussed. All right. I will tend to that while I hopefully am able to log into the email. That is what I'm hoping to accomplish. Have you been able to filter while you're hosting?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we got the juggling going on. All right, Longo Biggs. That's CD, and that is Doug, and that is Longo Biggs. They're going to be in studio here this week. As a matter of fact, I'm recording a spot with them. If you're injured in an accident, things can spiral out of control quickly. You might have medical bills piling up. You might not be able to work or provide for your family, and you're probably getting the runaround from the insurance company you've been talking to. Don't fight this fight alone. CD Longo and Doug Biggs of the Longo Biggs Injury Law Firm will take all the complication and hassle out of your injury claim. They will deal with the insurance company and take the fight head on, allowing you to get back to what is important, which is recovering from your injuries. Injuries can be complex. Each case and accident is different, and every...
My bad.
They just won't let you do a live spot today, Dave. Well,
they.
I consider myself to.
Nice.
And every fact is important when building. It wasn't this way in the other studio, right? I mean, things had to be bumping around all the time. There's just no way.
I think it's because it's a little hollow in here.
But they have the acoustic paneling behind the Plowhawk.
Yeah, but I think when it's this close, like the trash can, and it's just a little louder, I think.
I guess so. You will get personal attention as either Doug or CD will personally handle your case. You'll get to know them just as they will get to know you in every last detail of your case. They are local lawyers who care about their reputation and building relationships with their clients. It's Longo Biggs, online at longobigs.com. Longo Biggs, injury law accepts personal injury, wrongful death.
That's not us.
Other catastrophic injury cases. The choice of an attorney is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements. All right, I'm going into the filtered file, Jackson. There's a lot of... You have to filter while hosting.
It can be done.
All right, fair enough. Here we go. It's time for the Design Air Eating and Cooling Email of the Day. Ann Young. Whoop. Excuse me. Clears throat. Raises pitch of voice. Ann Young. I am sexy woman. Yes, definitely sexy woman. This message is for the pale virgin. Hi, how are you? I am real, like Bill's wife, and I like you. Do you also like me? Well, prove it by wiring $1,000 to my YouTube page. Thanks, and again, this is Real Woman. #1 Asian intern, Brian Henshin. I mean, female emailer number 7, a.k.a. ASMR Bill 75. Subscribe to my YouTube channel and take out the trash, and I may let you jump my hole. And Young, thanks. #1 Asian intern, Brian Henshin, a.k.a. ASMR Gary. Come visit my YouTube page where, quote, I just continue getting naked, unquote. Yep, that's an actual thing Boots said. Just a never-ending process of stripping down. I got back and there was Gary just sitting there sad and naked. Had me shaking my head. What a loser. That's from Brian Henshin.
Unreal.
Dimpled balls. I couldn't listen to the show this, ma'am, especially the segment about the winner of the Fan Page Club Championship winning $2,500. However, I did want to point out that you have my gin wrong. It says my name is Mark Steffenhagen. That's actually my dad's name and his gin. My name is Mark Steffenhagen Jr. If you wouldn't mind, please adjust my gin from 5.9 to 25.9. Thank you, Mark Steffenhagen.
Well played.
It's not hard to find the right guy. You just need to hang out in the right spots. Play it smart. If you're looking for men with the flabbiest haunches, avoid the treadmills at Planet Fitness and start hanging around the concession stand in the 400 level at Busch Stadium. It's well known that I'm a self-proclaimed chubby chaser. I want to smell the honey mustard lingering on a guy's breath. I want to taste a hint of the country fried steak he had for lunch. Naturally, I hang around the ice cream aisle at the Walmart in Jefferson City. You can find plenty of dudes with impressive fupas there. I know what you're thinking. Isn't the clientele a bit unrefined? Yeah, they're Hoosiers, but they also are more likely to let you enter them without wearing protection. No. So you have to weigh the pros and cons. Now, the hunks with the most heft will be lined up in a few weeks at the first tee of the Fan Page Club Championship. The only thing higher than their BMI is their Grint Index. If you're looking for a more high-class fellow with a nice gut and proper love handles, you should head over to the self-serve donut case at the Deerbergs in Clayton. The gentlemen there have the same body type as the rotund Jeff City Walrus people, but they have a certain air of cleanliness and class that's hard to find in rural Missouri. Of course, if you're looking for the finest hand play on either side of the river, you'll have to patiently wait for the first weekend in December. Rumor has it if you queue up near the dumpster behind Harpo's just before the TMA Year-End Awards, you'll receive a world-class under-the-pant rub-down from an HD2 radio star. Shh. This will be our little secret, the JV golf coach. And finally, as a student of the markets and master of strategic investing, I'm always looking for a sure thing. I've been pooling all my resources into fantasy golf wagers against a khaki smoke show, picking names blindly at random. But after losing to his nice little rosters 3 of the last 4 tournaments, I've decided to reallocate my funds this week. Instead of betting on fantasy golf, I'm going to fire a long shot bet that my coworker or one of his dozen male friends taking part in a Smoky Mountain reenactment of the 1972 film Deliverance this weekend will pivot to the less hairier hole of a female. The way I figure, all I need to do is hire a prostitute to sleep with my coworker or bang one of his mates, but not tell him she's a prostitute, kind of like in Cable Guy when Jim Carrey bought a hooker for Matthew Broderick to cheer him up after his breakup. So I Googled Gatlinburg Escorts and found the escortusa.com. The site reads, "Welcome to Gatlinburg Escorts. We are just what you need because we offer a wide variety of really qualified and experienced escort girls in Gatlinburg, Tennessee. They are just the same as their photos. We provide women for any occasion, either a business meeting or a bachelor party. You won't regret anywhere. I went with Martha because she's into humiliation and role play, and I know my coworker's into diaper stuff. It's $140 for the first hour, $120 for an additional hour. So I entered my credit card info and sent a blurry photo of my coworker. Now I just wait for the bet to cash. Are there hookers who screw with both holes? That's from Buck Swope. Buck Swope, and that's what we have for the Design Air Heating and Cooling email today. What you got, Iggy? You get to lead off.
I'm going to go, I forgot his name, the junior guy with the 25.
Mark Steffenhagen.
I'm going to go with Steffenhagen because he put a little thought into that, and I kind of like it.
Is it me? I'm going to go with Henshin.
I agree, Brian Henshin, Bill's wife. This is Real Woman. That was the name of the email. Brian Henshin. Congratulations, Brian Henshin. You've got yourself a Design Air Heating and Cooling email of the day win, and Jackson and I have a life win because in 2 minutes we're going to get our asses ripped on 101 ESPN. Jackson, tell the people what's coming up.
Oh, man, the Little Piddles weekend wrap-up.
Oh, boy.
He's already digging.
It's a wide berth Monday.
NBA playoffs, I guess we'll have all that.
I'm ready to break it down.
Did Lakers win last night?
They won yesterday, yeah.
The afternoon.
Beat the Grizz.
About the
no
Clips,
job,
what about
though.
the Clip show?
Clips beat the Suns.
Yeah.
What a block by Russell Westbrook. Some might call it a foul, but
All right, I
pretty
guess we're
clean.
going to hear about it coming up on 101 ESPN. Balloon Party is coming up. It's brought to you by Munganess St. Louis Acura. KG in O-Town. I'll be back tomorrow for the fun and games, and you are always welcome to send in your QFTAs. What about Cuck Knobloch? Was it real? T. McKernan at InsideSTL.com. Questions, comments, requests for the show. T. McKernan at InsideSTL.com. For the Plowhawk, for Action Jackson, and for the Vacationing Douglas Sullivan Vaughn, for Kenneth Iggy Stroh, for KG in O-Town, or rather Kevin. I'm Tim McKernan. This has been the Ryan Kelly Morning After from the Michelob Ultra Studios.
You're hearing TMA all day on Cape.